Metro, future looking bright, nigga got that glow. Professor X, nigga, all the gifts I show. My life like a movie shot off the hit show. Me and Bless Hands make a bitch get low. James Willis, DJ CEO. Dave hit record, now we on beast mode. Let's go.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome to the Antoinette B Takeover podcast tonight. We're going to be talking about single versus marriage. We have here on. We're just going to start talking about relationships and the things we go through in relationships, how to have a successful relationship, just a little pointers. So first, I'm going to introduce Lady Di. If you can start off. Can you hear me?
I'm sorry. I'm always doing that. Hi, I'm Lady Di. I go by Lady Di on the media. I also go by Dating to Marriage Support. That's where you can find me on TikTok, Dating to Marriage. But everywhere else is Dating to Marriage Support, like YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. I support women and men when it comes to dating, as far as learning how to find the right partner, because it's hard to understand what the right partner is or even what it looks like. So I like to help others in that regard. And then in the relationship, that's where all the problems happen before you get married. So I kind of try to support people in that and help them understand what's going on and try to get them married. So that's my whole point, is to get women and men together and kind of stick together, because a lot of us are breaking up. So
yes. So why do you think a lot of people break up?
I believe that women don't understand men and men don't understand women. So just to clarify what a man's role is and what they actually provide as a man naturally. And then as women, we provide similar traits as well. So just to get everyone to understand what that looks like, so it could match up in a relationship. Because I think a lot of us are acting like each other. So like women will try to act like a man, right? And the man is acting like a man. So they clashing because they acting like men, and the men is like, wait, hold on, like, what are you doing? And then it gets aggressive. And then there's some men that act like women. They're too emotional. You can't have two emotional people in the house. Nothing's gonna get done. So you do need a balance. So I try to help fix that. So that's why I think we can't get it together. It's because we just don't understand each other.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
I know.
For me, I'm single. I've been single for 3 years now. The challenge I feel is, really not finding somebody that's compatible with me. Whereas, I'm a very busy person. I have 3 businesses. I'm always on the go. I like getting out and enjoying the networking, having fun. And some men think that's just too much. Or some men feel like they don't know how to take me because I'm a very successful woman. So a lot of men feel like even getting into a relationship, like they don't really want to settle down with me because of my success. A lot of people, get a little scared.
Intimidation.
And I mean, I just feel like I've just been single for so long. I'm just not going to fall for just anything.
Yeah, I get you. Now I wanted to break down what you said. You said that you think okay. You said that you think men are intimidated by your success. Now I think it's a few men that actually are intimidated by money, unless they don't have any. But honestly, men are not intimidated by your money. They're not intimidated. They feel that you don't have time for them. You're too busy. So they don't know how to fit into your life because they're busy because they have to work, right? As a man, you want a leader. What's a leader without any money, right? So they have to work hard as a man. You got to take care of yourself. we as women could kind of get that like break and like, we don't have to work if we have a man that could provide. So some men probably just don't understand how they could fit in your lifestyle, being that you're so busy, and they just kind of like get taken off by that.
Well, I know a few men, you know, that I've dated before. They told me they just didn't feel like, you know, they fit in my life, far as because I'm financially stable, and they feel like that they're not there yet. So they kind of push away from the situation, and they feel like, you know, maybe I wouldn't pick them or want to be with them because they're
Yeah.
not financially stable in their mind the way that they want to be. So they kind of push away from the situation.
Yeah, they want to be able to do something for you. So, you know, men, most of the things they would do, they're going to provide. That's like the top thing. So one step, not for every man. Some men could be with you and not care about that you make more money and y'all just work together. But as a man, they feel like it's taking their manhood away. And it has nothing to do with you. Make your money, make as much as you can. But some men just can't feel this to sit in it with like you paying most of the bills or majority. For an example, there's a person, one of my clients, that he makes less money than his wife. So the money that he makes, he would literally have them live in a place where he can afford, so he can pay the bills, even though she makes like six figures. Because he don't make six figures, they're not going to live in a space that's like six-figure living. They're going to live in a space that's average living because that's what he could afford. And she actually didn't mind doing that. And now they're working together. But I mean, I don't know how many men and women will just agree to do something like that. So
Probably not too many.
you're like, nah.
Nah, I love you, but
Not too many.
Yeah.
You don't have two houses then.
That's right.
Right.
You in here, I did here. I mean, you know, but no, I don't think I would be able to do that. But
Yeah.
um,
So that's what it is, though. You know, it's like, what can he do? They don't know how they could fit. It's really nothing against you. It's just like, well, damn, you make more money than me, so what am I gonna do? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. That's just like how men are. But that does not mean you can't find the one that doesn't care, or you could find someone that makes money like you or more. They're out there. You just gotta be in the right places. It might probably change where you're looking.
Yeah. I know my biggest problem, I come off very independent. Or they'll be like, they do the same thing with me, like, oh, you're too busy. I'm like, you didn't even ask me my schedule or ask me out to even know what, like, I'll make time for things I want. That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
Usually with me, when I get involved with someone, I tell enough that you need to know in order for us to figure each other out. At the end of the day, I grew up around brothers, so I know I do come off like I kind of think like a guy, and I know sometimes it's like a gift and a curse. So it works both ways where it hurts me, but then it's almost like an advantage at the same time. But my whole thing is I want a dude that likes to take control, but not controlling, because I know I'm more of an aggressive female. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's the biggest thing, and like Antoinette said, I'm not about to settle for anything. So, and plus maybe because I'm a Pisces, I'm big on horoscopes and stuff. Like if I see a instant red flag, I'm falling back real quick ASAP because I know I'll lock in quick. So that's another thing with me too.
So with the aggressive part, I used to be aggressive, feisty. I'm from up north, New York, from the Bronx. So, and then I married a guy from the South. So people are like, how the hell? How does that match? Listen, I don't know. We're not even the same, even though we're Black. But it was kind of like, it took us a while though to kind of get it together because I was aggressive. And then he's not, that's the man that I married. He's not having that. He's more like, I don't know if you're into this, but the alpha male, you know, you got beta male, alpha male. He's an alpha male. And he's like, wait up, hold up. And I'm like, well, I'm an alpha female, you know, so what we doing? But if I'm going to let him lead, how I'm going to sit here and be acting extra like that? Because it's like, how he going to leave if I'm if I'm always trying to root over what he's saying. And it's
Right.
like no middle ground. It's like what I say go kind of thing. And like, you know, your opinion don't matter. So as women, I learned that just being feminine is what it needs to happen. Because if we constantly continue to be aggressive because we're saying we're aggressive, like that's what I used to do. I'm aggressive. Why should I change? It doesn't work for no man. So it's like,
I'm a little different because I feel like I do don't mind being submissive. That's the best way I can say it. I'll let a man lead if I feel like you deem worthy to lead. Like if you can handle taking control, I have no problem with you taking. I prefer that. But the whole thing is, if I feel like you're not doing what a man is supposed to do, or I feel like you should be doing a little bit more, and if I express that to you, like my feelings, sometimes guys take it the wrong way too, because I try to be honest. Like if I'm not happy with something, look, I don't like what you just did. Do you mind not doing that because that made me feel uncomfortable? Or I feel like that's inappropriate for a woman. And sometimes you get a lot of pushback, and it's like that's where it goes toe to toe. It's like I don't know, because I like to be submissive if you're able to take control. So that's my biggest thing. But
now it seems like I'm not saying nothing bad. I'm just going by what I'm hearing. So
right. No,
what I
fine.
got from what you said is that you complain a lot. Right?
No, I don't complain a lot. I don't really say nothing. I'll say,
but you're saying that you telling him that you don't like this, you don't like how this feel, you don't like that. That's complaint, even though it might not be like you're nagging. You know, nagging is nagging.
right.
You don't have to nag and go there to complain. Complain
Right.
is just you just making a situation. I don't like this. What we gonna
Right.
do?
Right.
You know, and you're always constantly doing it. Men don't. They not trying to hear. It has to be appropriate. I'm not saying you can't. Hey, this is what I feel. Like do that because they need to
Right.
understand you.
Mhm.
But then it's like it comes to a point where, well, how many times you gonna sit here and nitpick? You know what I'm saying? Men don't like that nitpicking stuff.
It's
Right.
So it's kind of like
where that.
right, you know. So it's kind of like you got to find like a middle ground. So like if you're with a man and there's like 5 things you don't like, because that's how it is. Like it'd be a whole bunch of stuff, random things.
Mhm.
Think about, not saying he can't change. He could change, especially with something that he needs to change, like let's say cleanliness or something like that.
Mhm.
But like find like just don't hit them all at once. Start with one and then work on that first. So your biggest pet peeve, like if he, I don't know, something simple, he leaves the toilet seat up.
Mhm.
That's simple stuff because some women hate it. Just every other day, or you could do every day, but kind of politely, yeah, you know, almost fell in the toilet. You know what I'm saying? Like just like make a joke out of it, or you know, it's you know, you don't feel comfortable with it up because I don't like to see, you know, you tell them I don't like to see the water or whatever makes you feel uncomfortable. But just have a conversation. I'm saying have a what is it? Natural conversation that's not coming off aggressive. Like
Right.
you
No,
don't
I want to put it off like I come off like that. I'm just saying, like usually, like for example, if I go out with a guy and he does something that is like you're bragging about another female or something like that, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say nothing at the time, you know what I'm saying? It really all depends because I feel like it's situational with certain stuff. I'm just using that as an example because I feel like I don't complain a lot. I'm really passive when it comes to certain stuff. It's just once it gets to that point, I'm gonna tell you how I feel and ask you nicely, can you change that? And if you don't change it, I'm not about to nag you. I'm just gonna fall back. I'm not about to. It's just not a good fit. That's how I look at it.
So the men that you know you come across, you said something about a man bragging about another female. That means that man is not the one you should be dealing with.
Right.
So people like that, you ain't even gotta say nothing. Just don't talk to his ass no more.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
right off.
Like, cause it's like think about those men. Some of them is like they know what they doing. They just don't care.
Let me clarify.
Even
I like being single. Let me clarify that part. I want to be single.
Yeah, you say that now.
I wanna dibble and dabble with a bad boy and then fall back and get out of like what time is
Well, okay. You do what you want
I
to
am all
do.
over the place, I guess.
You could do what you want to do, but I mean, one day you should figure out, well, what do you want? Because if you want to be single, then it don't even matter what that guy is doing if that's the case, because they're gonna be doing what they're doing, and you're gonna be doing what you're doing, and then it's like. But if you're trying to be serious, then
I just don't look for it. My thing is I feel like it's gonna. Whenever I go out or anything, I feel like I shouldn't have to. I don't like looking for a guy. I hang out with females where they be like, yeah, we gotta go where the guys at or where the dudes at, and I want to go out to have fun. But at the end of the day, I feel like if it's gonna come my way, it's gonna come my way. I'm gonna embrace it. But at this point in my life, I'm not eager to be in a relationship. I did that for several years.
I'm gonna explain this. This is a tip here.
Okay.
When you want to settle down, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have to look like you want to settle down. If you look like you're always having fun, they're not gonna look at you as, oh, that's a wife. They're gonna look at you as a fun time.
Right.
All right. So then you're gonna keep getting those guys that's coming at you boasting about somebody else, and they trying to have threesomes and stuff. And if that's what you into, then that's what you into. But you can't like say, complain about that. Just know, if you, not saying you acting like a something that's not a wife. I'm just saying, once you're ready to be a wife, you gotta present yourself like that at all times, because good men are gonna notice you. Right. And that's how you could get noticed. If that's one way.
Right.
Date with intention.
Would you say, Karen? What do you say?
It's like dating with intention and not just, well, this is what I'm about to do. That's it. You know, it's like you're wanting to come to the table dating with an intention to be serious and to let that person know this is what I'm doing. If that's not the path you're going on, then cool. But I'm gonna leave you right there. I'm on to the next. You're not going to waste time, and you're not going to sit there and fiddle and faddle with who's going to be your time and so forth. You're going to know off the bat, by the way you talking, that's not it.
Yeah.
So moving on.
And you got to set boundaries for yourself when you're dating.
What you want. That's why she's saying, once you know that.
I'm just talking.
Yeah, right.
Like, I'm looking through this conversation going. I was like, maybe I should sit back. Like,
I understand.
For me, to be honest, I feel like I learned a lot being in a relationship and not being in a relationship to learn what to do and what not to do. And like I said, I had brothers too, so I did feel like I picked up a little bit of stuff like that. But for me personally, I was in long-term relationships. And once I got into a long-term relationship, I lost sight of myself, and I was focused on catering to the person I was in love with. So when I got into a position where I'm still trying to figure out me, so I'm enjoying myself, learning myself, loving myself, I feel like that's gonna, if you're meant to be with me, you're supposed to be with me. I'm not saying I'll go out there and I'll be wearing like, going out here like hoes and like, hey, let me pop my booty, like come and make me your wife or nothing like that. I'm just saying, when I go out, I want to have fun. And if that person is supposed to come up to me or say something to me, because I know I come off like I'm very busy. Like she said, I model and I do acting and I do other stuff and I have kids. So my life is unfortunately busy. But at the end of the day, you're always going to make time for stuff that you want or you feel is something that you want to be involved with. It's just right now I haven't found that. And maybe I'm putting myself out in a different kind of way, but it's probably because I'm not pressed to be in that relationship or be in a title or be married. At one point in life, at one point in time, I did want to be married and all that stuff. I'm not saying that it faded away, but when you start to reflect on certain things in your life, especially when you have kids, you start to think about sometimes that's not always the important thing in life. Like, I don't have to be married. I would love to be married, but I'm not going to like change or cater myself to fit that relationship or fit a person. So, or make myself like a advertisement for you to want to be with me or present myself a certain kind of way. I am who I am. You're going to love me how I am, or I guess I'll be single for the rest of my life. I don't know. But I just feel like a lot of times with guys, it's not that I come off aggressive. It's just how I carry myself. I even had guys that said like, yeah, I was scared to come up to you and talk to you. And I'm like, why? I'm like goofy. I'm like, I have fun, but I do have a tendency to have that serious look. You know what I'm saying? It's not intentional. It's what they call resting bitch face. But I would love to be in a relationship. I just don't. I guess I'm not in that position where I want to be looking for it. I just feel like it should come to me.
Just remember this though. How you moving, you're gonna always get negative thoughts of men, because the men that's gonna come across you is not gonna be the ones you want. Because like I said, you're acting as if you want to have fun and that's it. And those type of men are gonna come to you. And then what's gonna happen is, let's say over a year, you come across 5 guys that's no good. You're gonna say all men ain't shit, right?
Right.
So it's like, I wouldn't even, if you want to be married one day, you got to really think hard about that. If you want to be married one day, then I wouldn't operate like that. You want to make sure that you are operating as if you want that one day, and just get to know yourself without the men involved. Because I feel like it would confuse what you really want. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I got you.
That's what I was trying to put out. You just made it sound better.
Yeah.
And that's just even with me. I just feel like, dating, I do date. But it's just so hard to take people seriously, because a lot of people, they go from dating, one time dating you, to wanting you to come over, to asking for sex, or even wanting you to play the role of a wife. Everything just happens so fast nowadays. People don't take their time with you. They want it bam, bam, bam. And I'm the type of person where I have to be able to get to know a person. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to just come over to I don't want to go on a date, and then the next thing you're inviting me over, and then you're asking me what I cooked today. You know what I'm saying? If we're going to date, I want to be able to date you. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to go out, enjoy each other outside of the home. I don't have to come to your home. I definitely don't want you coming to mine. I want to be able to get to know you on a one-on-one, see how you are, to see if I even want to be in a relationship with you. Men nowadays, it's just like, hey, Ma, I'm taking you out. They're looking for them taking me out. They're looking to receive something. You see what I'm saying? It's not just, well, I'm courting you. I'm trying to get to know you. It's just like, okay, I took you out, so what's next? You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, okay, I mean, what do you mean? So sometimes it kind of just pushes me away from even wanting to date. And like Tierra said, just letting it come to you. Because some men are good men, and then some men are just looking for sex. And I tell people all the time, I'm looking for a friend, someone I can get to know. I'm not looking for a sex partner. So if you're doing that, then I'm not the person for you. And then some people may get offended, but it's like I have to tell somebody that, because I don't want to start off going on a date with you, and then you're looking for something, you're looking for sex. So I mean, I may say, hey,
you're setting an
somebody, hey, what are you
expectation up
looking
front.
for? Or if we're conversating, or through phone or text or messenger, or however we're going to conversate, hey, what are you looking for? Because I'm looking for a friend right now, trying to get to know someone. It may turn into a relationship, who knows? But I'm not looking for a sex partner. And like I said, some people get offended by that. And then some people be like, okay, well, yeah, I was looking for sex. And then some people say, well, hey, we just don't know. Let's try it out and see, get to know each other. But a lot of people that I come across is, and I don't know if it's maybe because I model and I do lingerie, and, I'm just being me. I'm I'm comfortable in my skin. So, you know, I may model something sexy and I may post because I'm comfortable within myself. That doesn't mean because I'm posting a picture in lingerie that I'm looking to have sex with people. It's just that this is my job. This is what pays the bills. Like far as modeling, far as me being an ambassador for a line in my own skin, but some men may take it as she's trying to be sexy for Facebook or she's looking for sex. And that's
or
not
an
the case.
invitation.
Assume that.
Yeah. And then,
They
you
really
know, I can post a picture right now. People will jump in my inbox like, what's going on? They, you know, and it's just like, well, dang, I can't even be myself. This is me being myself. I love to model and I may have a sexy picture, but that don't mean that I'm looking for sex.
Right.
I just want to piggyback off of
So, you
what
know,
lady was saying. You know, I've been married for 13 years. So, you know, when I came in with, you know, before I got married, you know, I had a child by another person. So I was a single mom. So I already had the mentality where I didn't have time to be vulnerable. I didn't have time to figure out who was going to help me, blah this and blah that. So it made me to me, it made me aggressive. On top of that, you know, I was raised in a military home to where, you know, my dad would beat us down and make us do 50 push-ups.
Right.
So instead of having a soft exterior, it made me have a hard exterior. So when, you know, I would date and things, like she said, being aggressive is like really a huge turn off to some men, but I did not realize that until I carried that into my marriage. And I thought that that's the same thing that I was supposed to be. Well, you know, this is me, this is whatever. That did not get me very far in my marriage either. You know, it caused problems in my marriage because I was not listening to what my partner needed and what he did not like, because that's just how I was. It wasn't to offend him. You know, I just had that mentality. Well, you ain't gonna do it, I'm about to do it in front of you. And like men want to be the provider, and if they see you are trying to be the male and you clash,
it's like
baby, that's war. That's war.
Yeah.
So instead of having love, I'm bringing love from him. I'm bringing animosity. I'm bringing chaos. I'm bringing aggressiveness.
Which
And to me, I never had vulnerability. I didn't know what vulnerability was. And I'm still battling that even through therapy, you know, going through therapy for 3 years. I'm still battling that, you know, learning to sit back and allow him to be the man of the house instead of thinking like I got to beat him to do things or beat him to the punch to provide, if that makes sense. That does not make a man feel very good in his home. You know,
they don't feel loved is what it is.
They don't.
That's not love for them. That's their love language, is respect. And respect means that you let him, you know, be a man, the leader.
And I feel
I
like
would talk like vicious, like my mouth was out of control, honey. And and it gets to the point where it's just like he would just sit there and be like, I might as well just shut up. Like it's like you're emasculating him at some point. But when you're doing it and you've been doing it for so long, you don't realize that you're doing it, but you are.
I think a lot of females do that because there's a lot of.
That was about to be my next thing.
I used to do it.
It's a lot of females that do it, and they wonder why they where they are, and that's why I'm saying. That's why I'm piggybacking off of what Lady Di said. It's so true, because it's not going to do nothing but bring you more chaos. And now I had to learn how to get my point across or communicate with him where it doesn't come off aggressive, where I can communicate with him, but vulnerably and nice and not aggressive the way that I was, you know. So it does make a difference. It's not that you're being submissive and you know you gotta bow down to him, but it's respect.
No, that
And
makes
I just don't think a lot of females get that because they have came from where I am, where they don't have a choice. No one is there for them. No one is providing for them. They are taking care of their household like a male and a female. So they don't know how to differentiate the two because that was me. So when I got married, I thought I was just supposed to go on along with what I was doing. And that did not help me. You know, that was plenty of nights going to bed silent, and that's not good. And I'm being honest about that. So it's just a lot of females that do not get that. It's still trying to. So
I would say, I have 2 minutes, but I want to say this real quick. So what you said reminds me of my mom back in the day. Okay. They divorced and she was like, if he ain't, and she did this in the marriage, if he ain't gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. Okay. I watched that. And then when they divorced, I was young, 10 years old. And I watched her from 10 to when I moved out the house, 18. I watched her have that same attitude. So I was the one looking, you know how someone you look at a picture, you like you could really dissect this instead of you being the picture.
Yeah.
She didn't see it because she doing it. This is what she thinking. And then she has some trauma daddy issues, right? So for her, she like, I don't need that. And I watched that for 10 years for sure. Even to this day, I see her doing the same similar things. And I'm like, she's not with nobody though, but she's like, I don't want to be with nobody, similar to Miss T, a little bit like that. She's like, I ain't got time for that. I ain't trying to be in a relationship. I don't want that. But then, like I said, it's my mom's show. She's a little, I don't know how old you ladies are, but she's, in her 50s at this point. So it's like, well, what do you want to live like this all the way until, you're 80, 90? Like, what do you want to do? Right now, she doesn't know yet. So until she figures that out, this is what she's going to live her life like that. But me being the child looking at it, and then I looked at it from when I was an adult, and I'm still looking at it now, and I'm married now, I understand what's going on. And a lot of things is just not understanding. And I don't, me and my husband, when we have a business, it's called Dating to Marriage Support. So we have clients that will book us for us to help them in their relationship. And the reason why for us it works out very well and we have a lot of success rate is because we do it together when we have our clients. Because I'm not a man, but I do understand man, but he's the man. So he could break down, let's say in your situation, if you're still going through those issues, he could break down, okay, this is what your man may feel, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. I break down from my experience and what I learned from observation and my experience too. And I used to do the same thing you did. Instead of me yelling, I used to bang on walls, okay? I want to get my point across and you're going to hear me. Shut the hell up. That's how I was. But that didn't work, okay? Yeah. So from my experience, by me watching people, not just my mother, people in general, people still today, I still see them doing the same thing. My husband has experience. He was married before to a toxic woman. You know what I'm saying? So we collectively really help couples. And I just wanted to share my services with you one day if you're willing, if you're still struggling. I know you said you've seen a therapist or something like that.
Yeah, I do. Maybe. For myself, because I feel like that's something, I've like we're talking about. Sometimes you have to get yourself together, and if you point out that you can be a problem and you are a problem, I don't think people do that as well. You got a problem, you just don't want to. You just
fix it.
You don't want to fix it. You want to continue to be the way that you are, and I don't want to continue to be the way that I am.
Like, you gotta own it.
Right, and you exactly. You gotta own it. So
yeah,
it's a lot of reflection and a lot of like I said, trauma that I had to get a hold of my own self that I was holding on to. And sometimes that festers and goes into any relationships that you have. And not only that, what's important, I had to get a grip on that because not only that's not good for me. That's not good for my daughter to see that either, because she's going to carry on the same way,
right?
You know, and think that she don't need nobody and that she don't need no, you know, no male figure and things like that. And that's not what I want to teach her.
Yeah.
You know,
I just don't want to rush into nothing because I was in a relationship for a long period of time. And when I was in that relationship, I just felt like whenever I kept doing everything to try to make it work, try to fix it, try to make sure we stay together, because I grew up in a household where my parents are together. They're still together. And that's a big image to hold up to. And sometimes you feel as you growing up, you have to compete to get what your parents have, or you striving for what your parents have. And it took me a long time that I don't want to do everything and carry the load by myself. I have kids, so I don't, it like she said, like Karen said, when you have kids, you can't help but be very, oh, I got to do this. If you're not going to do it, because you're scared to let somebody take the reins, because if you mess it up, that's my whole family. Like, we're going to do it right when I know I can do it.
I didn't have time to depend on other people to do
it. It almost became a fear. So me personally, my fiance passed away. So when he passed away, that gave me an option or a choice to really start to learn myself. Like, I feel like that's something that I never tried to do, like figure out what I want, so that way I know what I'm looking for. Somebody asked me, like, what are you looking for? What are you looking for in a guy? There's things that I look for, but when I meet a certain person, those particular qualities is not a maker or breaker. I can pass on certain things that I'm looking for that you don't have. But the thing is, I have to learn to know myself before I can get into something and be able to make it work together if I can't make my own self work. So I feel like I'm not in that space to get into a relationship. I want a relationship. I'm not going to say I don't want one. I'm okay with being single. And the whole thing is I was always, oh, I got to be with somebody. Oh, I got to be with somebody. I used to freak out when I wasn't in a relationship. Like, I used to get scared. Like, oh my God, I'm single. Like, what am I supposed to do? I'm single. I need to get a guy. Like, I need to get another. Like, oh, you broke up with me? I'm about to get another. I need a boyfriend. You know what I'm saying? And for me to be forced to be in that situation where I was forced to be single, it's like, oh wow, I'm going into it with the wrong reasons or the intentions, and I hate that it took me so long to register that. And what Lady Di was saying, like, it resonate, because a lot of that stuff I go through, and I don't want to put across like, oh, I want to. It's just I'm still trying to figure out myself. I don't want to jump in something, and I'm not about to rush into something, and I feel like it's not a good fit, because I feel like it will blend naturally. I know all relationships work and everything like that, but I'm not about to rush in anything. Like, if I can't speak my mind and tell you how I feel, then how are we going to communicate to work? Because I feel like communication is key. So,
yes. Well, it was nice, really nice talking to you, ladies. I would love to do this again on another day, but
yeah, I got questions for you, girl.
Yes.
So just follow me on YouTube. I do a lot of lives on there.
Y'all gonna have to get on her show. Y'all gonna have to get on her show.
I'll come on there.
Yeah,
what do you go by on YouTube?
So it's Dating to Marriage Support.
Dating to Marriage Support.
Let me see if I can put the link.
Do y'all give like coaching on where to go to find those particular?
No.
You said do what?
Not y'all got
a good places to go to find
a resource book on where to go.
Right. To find a man.
Where you find him.
Oh, where you find him. You funny.
Yeah. If you write a book, I'll buy it.
Yeah, what kind of sick, twisted person? Okay, hold on one second. Okay. I'm just gonna put the link in the chat, the private chat.
Okay.
Okay, got it. I got it.
Her chat, yeah. It pulled up. Okay. So I have a show on Friday and Saturday. So if you ladies want to show up and you want to be a caller, Friday I usually do singles call in. And if you're not single, it's just to call in with, whatever concerns you have, and we could like talk about it, but it's live. So you guys definitely could show up there. But I try to do it every Monday and Friday. But just catch me on live. You'll see me. Just subscribe and you'll see when I'm on, and you could call at any time. I always have the call available.
Okay.
That's awesome.
I sure. Well, it was
Thanks,
definitely
Antoinette.
nice meeting you.
Well, thank you for coming on.
It was nice
Yes,
meeting
most
you.
definitely. Thank you
Nice
for
meeting
coming
you
on.
too. All right.
All right. I will talk to you soon. Thank you so much. Okay, lady. So we're gonna get back into it. So Tracy, tell us a little bit about yourself. How long you been married?
Tracy
How
K.
long you been married?
16 years. And marriage is real. Like, it's a job.
Baby.
It's not for the weak.
Okay.
Baby.
And the thing about marriage is, like Karen was saying, you know, I understand her not being able to be vulnerable. And I understand when you get into a relationship, you want to bring your best quality because you want that last one to work.
Mm.
And when you get married, you're going to make it work, but you deny yourself a lot. You sacrifice a lot for everybody. And with her being in care and counseling, I understand that because I too had to reach out, because when you walk in a store and you all by yourself and you got money in your pocket and you don't know what you want, because you've been married so long and you cater to the kids, you cater to your husband, you cater to the dog. And it's like, what flavor ice cream do I like? I had to think about it, like, what did I used to eat? Because I got 8 children. So I had to think about, like, I used to eat black walnut, but do I like that? Oh yeah, I do like butter pecan. It took me a minute and I just broke down like, oh my God, I've given so much. I've lacked a lot with me in 16 years. And I find it, you have to set boundaries. Marriage, you're going to take a lot. You're going to take from him. You're going to take from the kids. You're going to take from the schools. You're going to take from your job. You are like the carpet. Everything is on you. At the same time, you have to be this sweet, loving, counseling, caring doctor, nurse, lawyer. You got to be all of that and not know how to keep everybody happy, but you got to keep everybody happy. And when everybody's sad, it's still your fault. Right. And I get it. And my whole thing in my marriage and in my relationship with my kids, as they're grown now, I'm down to my last 2, 16 and 11. I used to have this thing in my mindset that I could not let him fail us. So he might fail, but I can't fail because they're dependent on me for certain things. And our relationship is dependent on certain things. And see, my husband's African. So people already had a mindset about, oh, how's that going to work? When technically it ain't none of their business.
Yeah.
But people can make you feel some kind of way and hold you to standards that you don't notice until you're doing too much. Mm-hmm. And when you're in your marriage and you're not focused on what you all want, because there's 4 components to that thing. It's the kids, it's the everybody, it's the schools, it's the job. It's all these different components. But I've learned in 16 years not to be always angry, not to always be trying to figure it out by yourself, because that's what that spouse is for. Figure it out. You all supposed to come together and figure it out. But if you feel like he's too weak or he feels like she's too weak, and this is the thing people do a lot, and I don't like it. I don't like when men get with their friends and say things about their wife, or when women get with their friends and say things about their husband. Because it's not that you're angry with them or like that, but you're just venting because you don't know. That's not where you're supposed to be venting. You're supposed to be the counselor.
Yeah.
People wait for that moment so they can have something to say when y'all look happy. People wait for that moment when things look amazing. They want to say, they wasn't always like that. But I'm going to tell you something. Marriage ain't going to always be what nobody think, because you never know where it's going.
It's not.
It's work.
Relationships alone, a lot of people look for a fairy tale.
Mm-hmm. The house,
and
the dog, the 2 kids.
This woman's supposed to be this queen with no flaws, this king with no flaws.
Yeah,
it ain't gonna happen, honey.
Right?
It's not. It's going to be, whether you're married or you're looking for someone, it's going to be flaws there. Yeah, it's just about what is standard and what you can adapt to, what you can't deal with, what you can't deal with, and that's all in your court.
That's why I
And
definitely
so
thought it
forth.
was like a princess ground and everything. Like,
You can't,
stay
you
away,
can't,
dirty man, fly away.
But there's a lot of voices because you got your parents, you got
right.
your kids saying stuff like, "You better shut up."
Yeah.
You got, your friends saying stuff. You got people who don't even know about you, but they've heard or whatever they saying stuff. So you're constantly always, on the defense because you want things to go a certain way. You want things to look right. You want your kids to look a certain way, and you don't want to feel like, you failed. But when you if you have kids before you get married, there is a certain standard that you, a male or female, have in your mind that you can't let that new person come in, tear you down, or cause you not to be what you imagine. And in marriage, it's not about that. Y'all are now building a foundation together. Y'all now are working on things together. And it's supposed to be for the rest of your life, not to make me look like I shine, not to make you like you shine. It's us.
Mm-hmm.
And people lose that. And you lose it a lot by not going on dates no more. Just being you and that person together, because you're still learning each other. So you have to keep learning. The whole time you're learning. But if you're going to block your mindset and not be open-minded to, they're not always going to do everything right. You're not always going to do everything right. It's going to constantly keep you in chaos. And then you're not enjoying it no more. It's not fun no more. Then you focus on the kids getting grown. Then they get grown. Now it's still just y'all. Like, it's so many things to a marriage that you have to really ground yourself and really be humble. You have to really respect yourself, not to want to disrespect your loved one or have them disrespect you. And if some of those things are going on, you don't have to stay there. Like when we talked about the nagging. It's not about nagging when someone's doing something that you really don't like and you've said it in the nicest way and you keep having to remind them. At some point, they're not accidentally doing it. They're doing it because they want to.
Yeah.
And then that's when you got to seek counseling and find out and, get somebody professional in there to look at the situation and see if you are compatible. I don't care how many years you've been together. However, there's key things you have to still do in a marriage. The man still has to take the woman on a date. The woman can take the man on a date. Y'all still have to have that time where the kids are going to bed. You all are talking now. You still have to have that time where you're working out how you're going to make things work in the finances. Because if you're financially struggling, it's not one person. You can't work him to death. It's both of y'all. And I don't believe in a man working 2 and 3 jobs and a woman staying at home. I don't believe in a woman working 2 jobs. No.
Baby.
No. You gonna work one and I'm gonna work one, and we're gonna come together and our budget gonna make this thing work. Okay?
That makes sense.
Because all them tennis shoes, we don't need them in the closet. Let's get to auctioning something. And I don't wear no wig, but I'm sure if I did, he'd be auctioning my wigs off. I mean, it's just certain things a woman want to have and a man want to have, but we go out of our way to be broke, to have that look, that facade. And when you marry, it's not about that no more. It's about y'all.
Right. Now that's another thing that is an issue with me. It's like when you're single and you have kids, that's a big challenge for me.
Tough.
It's like one is like a lot of times I'd be exhausted where it'd be like, I gotta go to date now, I gotta get dressed, figure out what I'm gonna wear, stuff like that. And then you'd be so worn out, you'd be like, ugh. And then a lot of times, like my biggest thing is I will not let a guy meet my kids until I feel comfortable with you first. Like, I got to know you before I can introduce you, like, know that I'm serious about you before I can introduce you with my kids. And the whole time I'm watching you, like, and I communicate with my kids. That's my biggest thing. Like, I don't want to be with someone my kids aren't comfortable with. And my issue, because I think I freak out so much because I have girls. I have 3 girls and 1 boy. So for me, it's literally like a freak out moment, especially with everything that's on the news, things that's on in the paper, kids getting molested by woman's boyfriend, stuff like that. I really be freaking out and taking that very serious. And a lot of times, like Antoinette, I always get guys that I be wanting to get to know you the same way and let's go out, let's go on dates. And they always want to, I'm not going to bring you to my house. You're not going to come to my house until I know I want to be serious.
That's the goal. Yeah.
I can't bring you to my house. At first, when I used to do it, I felt weird at first because again, when before I had kids, that wasn't no issue. Like, oh yeah, we can go chill at my house, watch a movie. But now that I have kids, it's like I feel like like I'm making them up or something. Like, no, you can't come to my house. Like, I won't even introduce a guy to my kids until I know I'm really feeling serious about you. And then at that point, oh, here go my kids. See how my kids doing. I'll even ask my kids questions like, how do you feel about them? What do you think? Do you like them? Do you feel comfortable around them? Stuff like that. And I think another thing a lot of females have issues with, I'm not gonna leave my kids alone with somebody that I'm with, but I feel like if we get to a point where we're looking towards marriage and everything, I should be able to be comfortable with you being around my kids in that kind of manner. And that's the biggest challenge too. It's just my kids. I freak out about that part, especially with being single. It's like, and like you mentioned before, like I grew up exactly the same way. My dad's military oriented, and he was real strict on me. So it's like that's why I was saying before that Amish thing. Like one day, I felt like I was looking for my dad because my relationship was like he was like my dad. I'm like, I can't wear this. I put my hands down, they long, you know what I'm saying? And it's like now that I'm like free, you know what I'm saying? It's just now I freak out, like, okay, wait, you feel comfortable with them? Wait, no. If they look weird, my kids looking funny, or you know what? I don't know. Like I just forgot.
And that's the only thing like I said, being in the military home, I think it definitely made some wrong curses on me, and it gave me some good things because my mom and them were married for like 30 something years before they parted ways. So I lived in a home with my two parents and so forth. So you know, I had the morals, and I you know, was a good morals, and my mom taught me good values and things like that because it wasn't tolerated. So you know, but on the flip side, you know, my dad was so hard to where, you know, like I said, we were like freaking boys, you know, climbing freaking trees and push-ups and
that's why I stopped going.
To where, you know, what's vulnerability? Like what
right.
Like so like, then you know, on top of that, move out the house, you know, got 2 jobs, have a kid on my own. So now I'm really pushing it to the metal. You know, now I really got to depend on myself. I don't have time for people to be taking care of me and my son. So here comes my husband trying to get into that. He doesn't have no kids. Wow. Diamond in the rough. A dude with no kids, that's not possible nowadays.
Yeah.
So now he has to get on my level like, wow, I can't even get in. It took him a long time just to get in because I was just too hard. Like, no, bro, you can't do that. And if you can't do it, then bye-bye. I don't got it to do. You know,
right.
Cause problems because all I knew was about myself and that I did not have anybody to lead me. I didn't have no one to give me an example. You know, my dad taught me, you do it, you get it on, and you get it on your own. Like my first car, my dad didn't give me my first car. Like all these 16-year-olds get their own cars. No, my dad made my ass get up, go to work, and you go get your car. No. So a lot of my values is totally different from my husband's values and how he grew up, where he was in a divorced home, you know. So he's going to be a lot more vulnerable to a marriage than I was, which is crazy. So it made things a lot harder because he looking at me like, well, then damn, you the man. Coming in,
right?
You know,
I mean, to an extent, yeah.
You telling me you ain't doing that, and you taking over this, and it's not a way to be. It's not.
You have to learn because the husband is the protector.
Where now I'm exhausted. I want to put down my armor. I want to put down my, you know, my bullets, my armor, my ammo. I don't want to do that. It's exhausting. It's exhausting. It's exhausting.
I feel
but you know what? Even in like when you're married and you come in, like we've come in with kids already or a kid already, and then you have a kid with your husband. Now that's called a blended family. I didn't know that until a couple of years ago. Somebody told me that because I was born. Whoever came out my mama, that's my sister and brothers. It didn't matter. They ain't none of that step stuff. If you hit that one, we all coming. So, but it's the thing though. It's called blended families, And so you have a baby with your husband and you already had a baby. And that could also be a problem in the home because he has to be the father to both and you have to be the mother to both. And there's a pulling. And you and where kids actually feel like you love this one more than me because their daddy is here or my dad ain't here. You know, it's a lot to be a wife. It's not easy. All that want to be a wifey. You better stop singing that song. You better learn the rules, the bylaws, because it's real. It is real. You are not pretty.
And that's very true. That's very true.
No.
That's actually what sold me on my husband is because, you know, he knew I was a single mom and he, you know, and I think that that's where another thing a lot of women go wrong when they are single and they are dating. You do not need to tell a man that you got A, B, C, and D. Baby, they're going to see it already.
Yeah.
You don't need to tell them. You don't need to brag on yourself.
No, they know it.
It's the way you move. If it's the right intentional man, they're going to see how you move.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to like, well, I got this, so you don't need to do this for me. And trust me, you do not have to do that.
Mm-mm.
You will not have to do that. And I did not have to do that with him. You know, I would tell him up front, you know, I would let her go on a date, but I got my son with me. So that he would just like that wasn't nothing. Bring him with you.
Yeah.
That was like shock to me because most men they wouldn't do that. Another thing I didn't do is when I had my son, he did not come to my home. You know, my kids only know of their dads. You know, all the other strays and all the people that I just went on dates and stuff. No one came to my home because I didn't play that, and I just didn't invite myself to people and any and everybody. That's just facts. It just wasn't happening. That's just not the way. That's not the person.
I feel it because when you're a parent, yeah,
you think different too.
Right.
Yeah.
So I had a son too. So if I just invited all these dudes in my house,
right,
he gonna be like, okay, well, this is what the women do. You know, this is what the women do. This is what y'all do. You know, that's just setting examples.
Mm-hmm. So when you ask the question, the difference between being married and being single, my thought pattern is when I was single and I was dating and I was trying to find somebody, I was that provider, I was that protector, I was that person, I was that money maker, I was my own financial, you know, advisor, I was all of that. But when I became married, all those things were no longer on me. Even though I felt like a turtle and they always beating my back up, it actually wasn't that way, but I perceived it that way because I took on all of that and took a lot of responsibilities out of his hands because I refused to fail. However, being married, you have a protector all the time. You have someone you can, you have a best friend. They're supposed to be your best friend. I don't know what y'all. You're supposed to be your best friend because there's nobody else that you're telling these things or doing certain things with but your husband. And there's certain people you can't be around. You can't be around a bunch of single folks if you marry. You learn these things as you go. You learn it. But I learned the difference between the two is I have a constant protector. I have a financial person to lean on. I have someone helping me financially. I have somebody that's my strength. When I can't take no more, I can lean on them. I have, you know, my children feel more protected because they're not just seeing people come and go. And I also feel like you're building with somebody. You're making your future and you're building with somebody when you're married and you're deciding with somebody. You're no longer thinking on your own. You have someone helping you to think and keep things going. And when you're weak, they're strong. So that's the difference for me.
How about you, Karen?
My fault. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to piggyback off of what some of the things she said. You know, I don't think no one goes in. You know, maybe they do go on in life and be like, I don't want to be married, or I don't want anybody with me, or I just want to be single. I don't feel like everybody wants to be single for a long time. I think it just really just depends on the person and who you are and what your true values are and what you are looking for. That's literally what it is. Whether you're single, whether you're looking to get married. You have to look down deep in yourself and truly feel like what you are wanting. Like they say, some people are not meant to be married. Some people are meant to be single. But it just depends on what you want. And I feel like the difference is, like she said, marriage is you have a confidant, you have someone to come home to, you have someone to share your issues with, you have someone to share your ups and downs with. To where single, you're literally you don't have it. You don't
guarantee. There's no guarantee.
You do feel lonely,
and there's not a guarantee for that.
Mm-hmm.
I always had that conversation with me and my cousin. Always talk about
it's
that.
It's not guaranteed.
You feel lonely. They be like, "How you lonely? You got kids?" I'm like, "No, it's different.
That's not the same. That is not the same."
And when I come back from a trip, I'm gonna be laying there.
Like, right. They like, "How you lonely? You got kids. At least you got kids. I ain't got no." I'm like, "No, it's not the same. I can't have no grown conversation with kids." Like.
When I come home from a trip, I know I got somebody to go home to. I'm not going back home to look at four walls. Like, okay, back to the drawing board. I didn't find nobody out of town, so back to the drawing board.
Right. And I will put this disclaimer out there: when you marry, you have an automatic permission to whoop ass. Anybody who touched that one, when you marry, that one is off limits. I don't care what nobody told you. I have an automatic right. I have a subpoena to whoop your ass when you touch this one. So when I'm single, okay, he might have cheated, but once we married,
I feel like it's harder. I heard
we coming across tables like cheaters.
I heard Lala say something about like when you older, the older you get, it seems like guys are looking for younger females, and you always attract younger guys, because that's one of my biggest issues. I always attract younger guys. A lot of times everybody has that misconception that I'm young anyway, but it'd be like I always attract younger guys, even if I'm like, oh, he looks attractive, or I'll try to give you the little eye and everything. Here comes the young one coming. Like, no, what? Like, and I heard Lala doing an interview, and she said it's crazy because they were asking her like, how's it dating now that you're older and you're divorced and everything like that? And she's saying like the ones that be in her DM are younger guys, and that it's crazy how when you were younger, you always look for older guys, and you would never date anyone younger. And then when you're older, that's all you attract is younger guys. Yep. And all the guys that are your age or older are looking for younger females. Like, it's just crazy how it works. I feel like even if I was trying to look for someone, or not saying I'm looking, but or hypothetically speaking, if you're looking for a guy, it's hard out there. And it seemed like everybody lost that or has a misconception on how dating is. It's not like how it used to be back in the day. And it's crazy because I think back, like when I was in my 20s, I used to get dates often. Like it's not a problem. Now it's like, oh my God, like why is it like, hello? Did somebody text me? No, that's my mom. That's why I'm saying. Right.
To piggyback off of what you're saying.
Like, oh, that's my mommy.
Yeah. And that's why I'm saying, whether you are single or whether you are married, it's not. I truly believe that everyone is looking for that perfect king and that perfect woman. And half of the time, the person looking for that, you ain't even got yourself together, So how are you supposed to come to the table and you ain't even got your own self together? You haven't even got your own traumas together. You haven't even got your own insecurities together. So who are you to tell this man or woman what she need to have and what he need to have and what he need to bring to the table? All you need to make sure is what you bring into the table. Right. And again, if you looking for a male, looking to be married, that's something that you ain't going to have to tell him. He's going to already see you walking.
Right.
You're not even going to have to explain that to him whatsoever. He gonna tell you before you get it out. I'm telling you, he gonna tell you before you get it out. So you really just gotta. I just think that's another thing. A lot of people go relationships to relationships to relationships, marriages to marriages to marriages, but they don't have themselves together.
Yeah.
And even when you're even when you're in a marriage, as long as I am, and then you see problems, sometimes you have to hold yourself accountable, even though he isn't holding himself accountable, maybe, but you can fix yourself. What you need to fix and bring yourself back to the table to even probably maybe make it better for that relationship. It doesn't matter.
That's right.
So
you can't be so quick to give up. Like, soon as things aren't going your way, soon as things don't look like they're, exactly what you wanted or whatever, you have to endure, because you said you wanted this. When you took them vows, you said you wanted this. So when you want it, and I'm gonna tell you, when you with that one, if you leave that one and don't resolve the things within yourself, when you get with the next one,
same thing.
You're gonna do the same thing, because you never tackled the things and owned the things within yourself. And that relationship probably gonna be 10 times worse than that relationship. And you're gonna be like, dang, I should just stay with that one. Like, you'll find yourself in that pattern going and going and going. You gotta seek help at some point when you realize the same things keep happening, or you keep getting in different relationships, and it ain't everybody. You can't blame it on everybody.
Right.
You have to look at yourself and say, well, wait a minute. I could have chilled on that note. I ain't have to cuss him out just right there. I ain't have to, keep him out to work.
Yeah, that was me.
I ain't have to do that. I could have just, went without that curse. You got to look within yourself and see the demons that you carry, and the things that you project onto him, or those people that made them not comfortable or happy with you no more. Everybody got their things about them. Nobody's perfect. But at the same time, if you're willing to work on your marriage, if you're willing to work on bringing your family together, blended families together, there's going to be some endurance. You got to humble yourself. You got to be able to be that role model, and you got to be able to sometimes be wrong, but you're right. It's hard, but I was right, but I was still wrong because they didn't perceive it. They didn't accept it. It's a lot. It's a lot to being married.
But a lot of people always say too, oh, I don't want to be married and I don't want to be in no relationship and things like that. But when they get in a relationship, if they're not married, they dealing with the stuff that if you was married. So exactly. it really, there is no difference to me, other than I'm married and I'm in the long haul. To where you're single, you have to pick and choose on what you want to deal with and what you ain't gonna deal with.
Right.
You can't end
it. And it's hard for me to just deal with
coming back to the table. No, bro, I'm out. I don't have no type of bind to you.
That's
the
dating.
older you get, the less tolerable you are to certain stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I ain't gonna tolerate when I was in my 20s. I ain't gonna tolerate, that I'm older.
But it's sad. But it's sad when you see somebody that's been in a relationship, a boyfriend, girlfriend, for 10 years. Baby, y'all married. Just keep it right there. Keep it right there. Don't y'all bring nobody else into this foolishness.
Y'all out here Jim Jones in it.
Stay in there. And you say marriage.
I was
marriage out.
I was in a 9-year relationship, and I was married. Yeah,
and they'd be like, "I'm not married,"
and I felt like we were married.
Yes,
but now I feel that's why I'm so guarded, and it's so easy for me to walk away from people. Yeah. And some people be like, "You ain't even give me a chance." It's like I don't have time.
Right. You know what you looking for. You like I said, you're not even going to waste it. You like, nope, that ain't ain't nothing wrong with you. Ain't nothing wrong with you. You just ain't a fit for me.
Right. And keep it moving. And then some men are offended by that. Mm-hmm. Like, you didn't even give me a chance. I mean, things happen, but it's like, I'm 41, you're 45. I mean, damn.
When you say I ain't got another
17 years old.
Like, I ain't got another 10 years.
I ain't got another 4.
You know what I'm saying? So you expect me to wait on you to mature to catch up to me. Yeah. And it's like, I mean, I'm looking for a husband one day.
Exactly. I
don't have time to be sitting around playing these little elementary games with you because you want to sit around and date this person and that person, and you're not being honest. See, my thing is, I've learned to be honest with people. Yeah. I tell people what it is off the date.
Right.
Yep.
If you want to be with me, I'm a very busy person.
Mm-hmm.
I do make time, but I work. I have a career. You know, I have children. I have grandchildren. And you won't have to consider all of that being with me.
Yeah.
Because me and my kids, I've been a single mom. So you're going to have to deal with my daughter calling me 50 times a day, asking me a question or asking my opinion because I'm close with I've been with kids when they be like, all your kids do is call you. Who they supposed to call? Who are they supposed to call?
Or they looking at your phone because they think
sir, you're not the person for me because my daughter is going to call me every day. When she wakes up in the morning, she's going to FaceTime me, and my granddaughter is going to want to talk to me as soon as she get that water on her face. This is our routine. So if you can't follow suit, then I don't know what to tell you. And some men say that they're not jealous, but a lot of men are jealous of the relationships that you have with others.
Yeah, it is. They do.
Yeah, it's like
I didn't have that before.
Yeah, you can't say that you want to be with me and you can't accept the full package.
Yeah.
Because my full package is Antoinette has 4 children. Yes, 2 of them are grown and moved out, but Antoinette also entertains her grandchildren. She's also a model. She's also a businesswoman. She also likes to get out and do things. I'm not a homebody. Anybody who know me know that. I'm not a homebody. So if you're looking for a homebody, I'm not the person for you. Even with my husband, we're going to have to go out on dates and we're going to have to do things because you're going to have to entertain me. You can't start off entertaining me and then when we're married, then you're tricking me. Yeah, you don't want to do this no more. Oh, let's stay at home. No, I want to get out and enjoy and dance and enjoy you out in the public to where it's me and you.
Yeah.
I want to walk away from home sometime.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't settle because you get with these men and they trick you. You see what I'm saying? Like, I can understand you or I can deal with that. And then when they get with you, it's like, well, I didn't know you were that busy or dang, when you got time to sit down or you always on the go. You at work again? What? You gonna pick up a second job? I'm like, well, damn. Because you gonna pay all my bills. You gonna take care of all of my kids because my grown kids still need me sometime too. And then I got the responsibility sometime of taking on and helping my daughter with my grandkids if needed. You mean to tell me you gonna take care of all that, plus pay my rent, plus pay my car note, plus pay, etc. Take me on the dates and do whatever I want to do. Now, if you gonna do that, then I'll just shut up. If you ain't gonna do that, then let me do me. But I'm being honest with you. And I tell people, are you single? No, I'm not single, but I'm dating. Right. And I let people know that. So when
you doing it right because some people they do they date and they put their eggs all in one basket, then poof.
Right. And then when you're a model, they automatically think you like you just out here something like no, I'm doing stuff. I'm being
But some people feel entitled, and you're not entitled to my time if I'm not interested. But they feel like they have that entitlement because they've taken you out or they did a couple things. Like you said, you're busy. I'm busy.
Right.
And I have a right to be busy, but you don't get to, you're not entitled to pulling up at my job or catching me when I'm getting a cup of coffee.
But I hate when people assume my schedule too. That's one of my biggest pet peeves too. Like, don't assume my schedule. Like, oh, I feel you was busy. How would you know I was busy unless you asked me? Like, just ask. I want you to take me out. Why don't you just ask?
I'm calling your phone like, well, what you doing?
I'm very old school with that kind of stuff, and it's probably because of how I was raised. Like the man is supposed to woo you and all that other stuff. Like me as a female, I just feel like if you like me and I already gave you the acknowledgement that I'm feeling you back, and I even gave you my phone number or whatever, and I have a conversation with you. Why do I have to ask you to take me out? Oh, well, I would have took you out if you said, like, how would I know if you didn't ask? Like, ask. I think that's the biggest thing. Like, I don't know if guys are scared or whatever. It's a little bit of what Antoinette said. I always have a lot of issues with that. Or I have a lot of issues where guys come off like very passive because I do live that busy lifestyle and I do stuff. And sometimes I'm not even busy. A lot of times people think I'm busy. because of how I move. And I don't even be busy. Sometimes if I'm not doing something, I got to make myself do something because I'm not going to waste my life away laying around or sleeping or anything like that. So if you're not going to entertain my time, I'm going to make myself busy. Who's going to stay home and just
wait on you?
Yeah, I'm like,
people think that you're supposed to wait on them.
And see, that's the thing with being married too. You know, you have a lot of married couples that would be like, oh, well, you know, I can't go because I got to check with my husband and things like that.
Girl, bye.
Like, I like going to, like, when I'm in a relationship, I like going, like, I'd rather go out with my guy than my friends or female guys. I'd rather kick it with you. Oh, where you want to go?
One thing I learned about that is I have a husband who was like that. He did not want to travel for nothing. When I say he didn't want to get on a flight, baby, he didn't want to go nowhere. So I will go without him. And people will be like, wow, you really left them? I sure did, because at some point, stuff like that, you have to still be yourself.
That's right. That is correct.
And you still have to be able to still do what you want to do without someone else's insecurities on you.
That's right.
It's a balance, though.
Yeah.
When you
it's a balance.
Do it.
Yep.
So the only way that he would get on that flight, I would have to continue to keep leaving him. And then when all of his people start talking to him like, wow, you gonna let her go to Jamaica by herself? Wow, you gonna let her go to Puerto Rico by herself? Wow, you gonna let her go there by herself? Why ain't you going? Baby, at the end of them 2 or 3 years, he got on that damn flight.
I know that's right. I know that's right.
He lives in everything. I know everything because I'm out. I'm out.
Right. Right.
And I think there's a lot of times when people do get married and they feel like, oh, I gotta stop that because he doesn't want to do that.
No,
it cannot happen. Some things
you'll be lost,
but some things that's true to your heart. Travel is going to always be true to my heart,
man.
Because I was born in that. You know, I was come from a military. We were everywhere, so it's in me. I don't know what it is to sit down or just be in one place. I don't know what that feels like. I'm not a homebody. Like Antoinette said, I am not a homebody.
But you lose yourself.
Pack my kids up and get somewhere. I'll have kids and all. Like, I don't care. I'm out.
Yeah.
Right.
I have traveled solo. I have left everybody in the dust. Like, oh, you ready to go? Bye-bye.
I can play homebody.
Your life does not stop for men. Your life does not stop for marriage. Your life doesn't stop for that.
Right. Because you'll be lost. You'll find yourself lost. And I know I was making fun about the ice cream, but it was just like one instance of what I had noticed about me. And it's like, okay, what, you know, and when you don't have kids at home, why is cartoons on TV? Ain't nobody here.
Look,
it's a mindset. It's a mindset. You got to break yourself from always being so catering to everybody and still love the things that you love about yourself. Like, I like to go to the sand cave. And I'm still going to keep going to the sand cave because it's refreshing. You got to find things that you like to do. And no, they can't be just outlandish, expensive stuff that, you know, that's going to break y'all's finances and tear it up. But you got to find small things and really do some research and keep yourself busy and still loving you, because you can be so lost in a marriage to where you start hating it. And you hate it because you don't never do anything that you want to do
in a relationship.
You're just there. And I feel really bad when I hear people say, I'm in a marriage, but I'm lonely. I know what that means. It means that you've lost yourself to the point where you got to take care of everybody else. And when it's time for you, there is no time for you. You got to make time. And they had to teach me self-care and making time in that marriage. Like, I was just so busy when I wasn't working. I was with the kids. I went with the kids. I was this. I was like, it was just never that downtime other than that bath time. Yeah, that's good time. But you got to have more than just Calgon.
I got little kids, they
say, you know,
Delta, take me away.
There is some people who think, you're married, you're not supposed to do nothing else. You can still go on your girl trips when you're single or with someone.
Yeah.
If someone doesn't tolerate that, that's their insecurities. That's something that they need to go get something done.
Exactly.
And it did resonate because I do be watching Disney movies. Like I probably can name every single Disney movie. And even when I talk to somebody, they're like, did you watch what? Wait, what is that?
Right.
Like, did you see Disenchanted?
Right.
Like, I literally I do spend my whole day watching kids shows, and even when my kids are asleep, I still find myself still watching it. And I think
but if that's what you want to watch,
I do that all the time where it takes a lot of me to give myself self-care. Because it's like
even I used to be like that where I would go to the store, and if I didn't buy, every time I would go to a store, I had to be buying my kids something. If I didn't get my kids something, I felt bad. I felt so
happy mother.
And I had to stop doing that too.
Yes.
I had to start telling myself it's okay to go on a trip by yourself. It's okay to go get a hotel by yourself.
Yes. Hello.
Nobody around you and be on isolation. It's okay to go get your pedicure by yourself. It's okay to do A, B, and C.
You should not know all the songs in Descendant. Okay? All 3 movies. No.
I do though. And zombies. 1, 2, and 3.
and once you
it's actually pretty good trilogy right there. You need to watch that. It's really good for real.
But for real, once you really learn self-care and you really do it, it is powerful.
It is.
It makes others uncomfortable.
It does.
Because when you can sit up and go out and do things on your own that's happy to you, you don't have to have a group of people with you. That's powerful.
It's powerful.
Yeah, that was the biggest thing. I had to learn how to go out by myself. That was one of my biggest things. Like I always.
And when I go out by myself, I have a great time. That's like the best time ever. I don't got to worry about nobody. Like I'm ready to go. I don't got to worry about nobody.
You don't have no expectations.
Yes, I'm just having a great time, and I love it.
Yes,
I have learned to love myself.
Yes, and you ain't worried about nobody ain't got no money after they eat.
That was hard for me to do, like going out by myself. Because after a while, like all my friends, like I'm at that age because I'm 39, and all my friends, or I don't want to say friends, I'll say associates because I don't really have any female friends, but all the associates I have, they all are in relationships. And like she said, I gotta check with my dude if I can go out. I don't know if I can go out today. So it'd be like, dang, I can't even go out. Like, who am I gonna go out with? Like, who should I call? Who should I call? Now, like nowadays, like now that like I'm starting to embrace it, I do have people that I can hang out with. But it was so hard and uncomfortable when I first initially started going out by myself. Like I would feel weird because I felt like, do I walk the room, or if a guy to come at me weird, how am I gonna get away from him? Who am I gonna get that side eye to? Like, come and get me, save me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it taught me how to learn how to do that too, because that's a challenge.
It really is. Even when I tell my clients that, I tell my travel clients that all the time. Stop putting your trips on hold because of somebody else ain't going. Go. What? If you constantly wait on people to do things that you like to do, you ain't gonna do nothing.
Nope.
You're never going to do nothing. You're going to be going 6 feet under, going to the gods like I wished I would have did all this.
But wait, Karen, you be waiting for him. And you be waiting for him, putting it off. And then you see they went with somebody else.
Like, why didn't you call me and ask me?
I'm waiting on you.
I literally get that all the time.
It just happened. It just happened. But I'm still sitting here with my bag.
Or they call you after they out, like, it's like 11 or 12, like, meet us here. Like, you know how long it for me to get ready? By the time I get there, y'all gonna be gone. Like, why'd you ask me when y'all was en route there?
Right.
I forgot. Like, this one playing, like you lightweight think that way too. Like,
no, I stopped waiting, like she said. I stopped waiting. Just go.
Do it. You cannot. I have so many clients, they only been one place in their life and they in their 40s. And I'm like, you ain't been nowhere. You know, everybody just backs out. And I'm like, wow, that's a lot of time wasted. That's a lot. I mean, I'm not saying that to them personally. I'm just in my mind like, wow.
But what do you say about the person that ain't never left Columbus? Like,
I have plenty of them too. It's just amazing to me that people really do that. Like,
yes.
You
a lot of them.
go nowhere. You're not going to do nothing sitting and waiting for people to do something.
They ain't never left Cleveland. They ain't never left Akron. They ain't never left Columbus. They ain't never left Cincinnati.
Honey, going out your house ain't safe at this point.
Right.
There's no excuse. There's no excuse.
But I feel like I'm thankful because in my college years, I used to run track, and the coach that I had, it was nice because when we had a track meet out of state, we'll go to Virginia or something. He would take us sightseeing around that area, like famous places to go. And we'd actually visit places while we at a track meet. So it wasn't like we just going straight there and coming back. Because I've been at schools where we would go to a track meet and soon as we get off the bus and ran, get back on the bus, we out going. Like, wait, like that's it. At least I can say I've been here. You know what I'm saying? So once I had a little taste of that, it was like, oh, I want to do that all the time. Like I never even knew. Like there's a place in Chicago where they used to cuss you out or dog you when you come in there and eat. It's like it's an old school where they wear the little 60 outfits and stuff. I forgot what it was called. I'm like, I didn't even know about that. Wow. I just want to share that just in case. I don't know if they're still open, but you might want to check out Chicago.
Yeah, it goes back to being single. And stuff. If you're single and if you're looking for a mate and stuff, you might meet them in Walmart. You might meet them at the gas station. Are you going to wait to have everybody with you to go to the gas station? You going to wait till everybody to go to the Walmart to meet this man?
And that's more choices for them too. That's more choices.
You know, some things you're going to have to do on your own. You can't wait. Or you stalling yourself. You know, you definitely stalling yourself. You can't. I don't get that about people. They be like, there ain't no men out here, but you ain't going nowhere.
You ain't going nowhere else. Did you go to Ghana? Did you go to Nigeria? Did you even go to Cleveland? Nowhere.
You ain't even traveling. You ain't even doing nothing.
I'm sad.
Huh?
And it's sad. It's a lot of men who I've been on dates with who just never been anywhere, scared to fly, never been on the plane.
Something to care when a man.
Or we gonna get together and you don't like to do nothing but be in your own city.
Right.
I don't even network. I network and I'm from Akron, Ohio. But you couldn't tell a person that I wasn't from Cleveland, Ohio.
Right.
Because that's how much I network. So when people be like, you from Akron? Damn, I thought you was from Cleveland. You always up there. And I'm like, you have to get out and enjoy life.
Yeah.
You can't be this sitting duck. That's with anything that you're doing. Because you're not going to be able to enjoy. You're not going to, it's not life.
And it really became, since I'm married, it really came, when I became a travel agent, well, before I became a travel agent, I was traveling like 10 years plus before I did the business part of it. So when I started doing the business part of it, that really like kicked things in gear because now I have to, I had to make him understand I have to travel in order to do this. I can't just keep going to the same destination.
Yeah.
How I'm going to tell somebody. And that's another thing when I want to coach other people. If you're not going to travel, this ain't going to be it for you. You can't just sit and just do this and set people up. You got to be able to tell people where to go.
Yeah.
So I can't coach nobody if that's not something that you want to do or you scared to fly. That's just not, I wished it was like that, but you really wouldn't be able to give people the experience because you've never been there.
Right. Yeah.
Just like I'm not familiar with Africa. I would tell somebody in a minute, that ain't me.
Yeah. And I'll be like, let's go.
But that's where I would have to go to see it so I can give that experience to my clients. But it's the same thing with dating. How are you going to date and how are you going to find somebody if you don't want to go nowhere? No, that's not going to happen.
They'd be like, where can you
go?
If
that's the path that you're trying to take, like Antoinette. She ain't going to be able to date nobody if she's not dating or if she's not going places or she's not networking or she probably will meet somebody while she's networking.
Mm-hmm. Right. But some people are comfortable with the third party hookup. Hey, hook me up with your girl or hook me up with your cousin. And then it's like, huh? Like y'all don't do like. How did y'all meet? Y'all don't.
You know what my biggest pet peeve is when they be like, "Hey, my cousin over there want to talk to you. Like, why didn't your cousin come over there and talk to me himself?" Like that's like a pet peeve. Like
that's a turn off for you.
A bad mistake. It might be a bad mistake on my part, but I just if you can't have the courage to come to me and talk to me, how you gonna be with me? I just look at it like that. Like you gotta have confidence. If you take care of yourself with confidence, come over and talk to me, then how you gonna be confident to rock with me when I'm doing like Antoinette said, when I'm modeling and doing all this stuff? You gonna have insecurities out the wazoo.
Yeah, because it's like I tell people all the time, you know, I model, but I'm letting you know now that if you don't want to follow me on Facebook, please don't. Because you're going to be seeing me and commenting. You're going to be hearing my inbox go off. And I'm just being honest and I'm not being disrespectful.
Right.
But when you're doing that type of thing, and to me, I'm single. So if I was in a relationship, it would be different. But if I'm dating you, you know, I don't want you to get, you know, be upset and be like, dang, somebody always commenting on this and somebody always commenting on that. This is entertainment. I get paid off of Facebook. I get paid off of Instagram. So you can't tell me like, oh, that person hearted your thing and you commented and saying thank you. Why you comment and you liking me? No, it's not personal. I'm commenting because that's the way that I'm getting paid.
Right.
That's the way that I'm getting paid, by commenting back, sharing, posting, engaging with people. If you're getting paid on Facebook, the first thing they say, you need to engage. You have someone commented. You have to engage with that person to keep your views up if you're in professional mode. Now, a person that's not in professional mode wouldn't understand that. They just think that you're trying to be flirty or you're trying. No, I'm trying to get to the bag in any way possible. So you're either going to trust me or you're not. Because I'm not going to come into anywhere at 41 lying to you about anything. I'm not going to lie about my finances.
And you're doing it right.
I'm not going to lie about anything that I have going on, because I don't want anyone to lie to me. I want to come in and I want it to be truthful. If it's something that you don't like, tell me at the beginning. If it's something that you feel I can change, we can talk about it. If I feel like, you know, it's worth changing. But first, I got to be able to feel like you're the one to do all this for.
Right. Exactly.
And see, people just want you to jump from one step to the next step. It don't work like that with me anymore. I'm too old for that.
People even know before they even get into it and expect you just.
I'm too old for that.
That's some people that want you to put them wife duties on and you ain't.
And it be like,
that's that 10 years. That's that 10 years. We still boyfriend, girlfriend.
But it ain't even the 10 years no more. That people don't understand. It's not even the 10 years. I took you out twice. So, hey, babe, what you cooking? Babe.
10 minutes
later.
later.
Get to that point. Like, excuse me? Let's slow down a little bit now. We only dated twice. We only went on 2 dates.
2 dates. I love you. What you love?
Now I'm your babe, and now you want me to
talk like that too. They talk like that. They really do.
Like baby, what you doing? Or babe, and it's just like, now I'm your babe. Like, hold on, bro. We just got acquainted now. You know, I don't want you to take it to where you're gonna start asking me for wifely duties.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because
that's exactly how it starts off, though. Whether 10 years or not, them 10-year people who's in a relationship sometimes for 10 years, the way you just said it, that's how it is.
That's how it started.
And they doing 10 years of
See, I did my 10-year bid. I ain't about to do that again. Like, you want me to come back after 2 days? What?
And I'm not either. I'm not about to be with somebody for 9-10 years. Playing wifey, having you move in,
and that's why I continue to say it depends on the person, because there is a lot of people, they are very okay with that. They don't need no piece of paper. They don't need no
commitment, no nothing.
They need none of that.
And I didn't make
those kind of. I mean, to where some people
you don't need no paper. We don't need I need a paper. I need a paper.
But that's what I'm
Don't even
saying.
wanna
There is
know.
some people like you and Antoinette, y'all trying to date, y'all going for the intention and what your intentions are. There are some people, their intentions are not there.
Yeah.
They're literally in mode of shack up. That's
Yeah.
it. That's it.
Right.
I don't
Yeah.
need nothing else. I don't want to do. They're the bare minimum. That's it. And that's cool. That's what they want.
Yeah.
But then don't get mad when you don't have everything. When that
Right.
dude looks 6 feet under, you ain't got nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
You ain't got nothing happening.
No, but don't be mad when you date him for 6 years and then he jumped to the next woman and you have nothing. And you
Right.
can't be mad at him like he lied and deceived me. You deceived yourself. Because in 6 years, he didn't marry you. In the first year, he didn't marry you. The second year, I'll give you that. The second year. We're coming up on the third year with 6 white horses. We're going to go around that bush and I'm going to leave you right back there. Because that's too much of your time. You can buy a house in a year, 2 years. You can own a car in 2 years. I mean, all the things that you put aside because you paid his cell phone in the first 3 weeks y'all was together. And he became an automatic bill for 3 years. No. It's so many things women have to now look at and actually put boundaries on themselves. This I will not do. That I will not do. If you're that lonely, there's another show because we got to have a toy party. There's another show. I can't talk about that right now. If you're that lonely, if you just gonna start paying a man's cell phone bill in 3 weeks, we gotta have another show. Where they at?
Well, it is people that's that lonely. I've seen people have a boo, and then you just meet them, and then they're living with them because a man and tricked them.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. No. He didn't trick them. They became the trick. Because now you living in my house, and after 2 weeks, I can't put you out.
You know, some women, we just had a show about this where I feel like, you know, women should be able to date a man for 30 days.
Yeah.
To see how it's going to work out. But most women, they don't even date for 30 days and a man has a key and living with them.
Now,
and they're single because they're so afraid to be alone and they don't know how to love themselves to where they're just accepting a man coming in and taking over. And that's why I say sometimes it's okay at the beginning to establish a 50-50 thing. That way you don't feel like you coming in paying my bills, now you need a key.
Yep.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
Because some men to trick you and come through the door tricking first.
Yep.
And then they have this control. And it's like, well, I do need the help. Yeah, he is helping me with my kids, girl. Yeah, he did help me on that car note. I mean, it ain't that bad if he got a key. You know what I'm saying? It ain't that bad. I mean, he is helping. He is holding up a way. But sometimes men trick you with that. Sometimes men trick you with that.
Look, I ain't never gave nobody my key, but I have felt like I've been in a relationship. I dated a guy and he came in with a falsification or like a false narrative. And I'm thinking you're this way. And then once we locked in and we're in a serious commitment, then all of a sudden all this stuff. There's some chameleons that can hold that out for a whole year. Let me tell you. And that's why I feel like, just like Antoinette said, like I want to know what I'm signing up for. So in order for me to get that reciprocated to me, I'm going to give you that. I'm going to tell you what you're signing up for. So that way, in turn, I will hope you give me the same energy. I can't make you do it, but I hope that you give me the same energy. Like even when you said, like, if you're dating other people or you want to do stuff, that's fine. Just let me know so I know what I'm signing up for. So I decide if I want to continue this on or keep it moving. I don't want to waste your time and I don't want you wasting my time. But at the end of the day, like, I feel like if I'm really serious about when I go into a relationship, if I'm still trying to figure you out, you know what I'm saying? I'm not really big on asking questions. I'm really starting to get a vibe. Once I get that vibe and I feel like there's something there, at that point, I'm going to really start asking you the serious questions that I feel like I need to know in order to make this go to the next level. Yeah. And a lot of times if I'm messing with someone and you tell me like, oh, I just want to date or whatever, or I just want to mess around. Okay, I'm not going to ask you anything, because if that's what if you tell me it's going this way, there's no reason for me to ask, because I don't want to catch feelings. But once we get to a point where I'm starting to feel like I'm catching feelings, I'm gonna let you know where I'm at, so I know, so you know what you're signing up for, and if you can reciprocate that back to me. And a lot of times, a lot of guys do, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, I want that too," and I'm looking, because I have guys that I have dated, and they was like, "Yeah, I'm looking to get married," and tell me all this stuff, and I'm like, "Dad, that's like the same stuff I wanted. Like, that's crazy." And then it is flowing that direction as we dating, and then I'm almost a year in, and then all of a sudden, all this stuff that you saying that you like to do or that you be on.
But see, that's the thing.
Like, hold on, how does this come? Where does this come from? Like, you was doing this, now you don't do it. What's going on?
So, and that's the thing. It's like when you get in a relationship, as far as I'm concerned, everybody can be con artists.
Yeah.
You all the shade and all the smoke is right in front of you.
Yeah.
Right. Just gotta pay attention.
It's all about you weeding through that smoke.
Well, that's true.
And if that's someone that you serious really like, and stuff starts to switch up real quick, the problem is people see the red flags and they continue.
Yeah.
With no ring on their finger and with nothing. So that's automatically bad. They continue.
Right.
And try to correct the red flags out of people sometimes. And then at that point, you didn't waste the 10 and 12 years, and you ain't even went down the aisle. You ain't even got to an engagement party. You ain't even got nothing.
Nothing.
But you seen it. But you chose not to do nothing.
Yeah.
And it happens in marriages too.
Yes, it does.
And sometimes that's where it comes to a point where what you gonna tolerate, what's big to you, what's not a deal breaker to you, what is a deal breaker to you.
Yep.
All them little pieces that matter.
Yeah, it does.
It does. Even in marriage, it does. There are some things I can't stand about my husband. I'll be ready to throw the whole house at him. Like, what is going on? But there's some things that I can deal with.
Yeah.
And there's some things he know I'm not gonna deal with.
Yeah, they learn you just like you learn them.
It really just depends on and what you can weed out, what you ain't gonna tolerate, and if they showing you the big red flags first.
I feel like guys nowadays are literally studying.
It's okay to walk away.
Then that means the Lord is telling you.
Yes.
What's the flag?
No. Baby girl, let it go.
Because everybody is not. You have to go in and also look at everybody is not teachable, everybody's not approachable, and everybody is not going to be perfect. So again, everyone's already got their antennas up looking for someone perfect. Yeah. Soon as they do something wrong, oh, I got to go.
Yeah. No, you gotta have endurance.
Flaws, where they at?
Yeah. But like Antoinette,
you want to date, and he do 3 minor things, and you like, no, can't do it.
Yeah.
You ain't ready. I have learned. I was like that though, but I've learned to kind of let it play out a little bit longer.
Exactly.
I'm the type of person that I be like, girl, I'll call my girl on the phone, be like, girl, honey, I can't do this. And she be like, what? And it could be something so small. She be like, you don't even give him a damn chance. It could just be anything, and it just be like, well, maybe I just didn't like that person, or it was something about that person. But I've learned to, like, sometimes if I am looking to be married and I'm looking for my husband, I have to be a little bit more patient with people. I'm not patient with people, and that's my thing.
And let me tell you, you can miss up on people, miss up on your king that you supposed to have.
I know.
Let me tell you a story. One of my friends went on a date. He showed up with champions on. Girl, do you know she tore him down for having them champions?
I would have shut the door.
She went on the date.
Me and Champion have a beef.
She still continued to date him. Come to find out, he dressed normal, didn't have nothing flashy, didn't have a flashy car, had a simple 2022 at the time Toyota Camry that was brand new. Come to find out, he had his own multi-million-dollar contracting company.
Wow.
With some damn champions on.
They do that.
Does he got
Right.
friends?
They do that.
So now
I do hookers. I don't know about Antoinette, but I do hookers. I will. A cousin, uncle, your granddaddy.
sometimes that dude sometimes that dude riding in that normal car with them champions on or with whatever ain't got no Air Force Ones on and stuff, them be the ones.
Them be the ones because they want to see if you love them for them and not their money.
Exactly.
But like Antoinette said, we give too much away too fast before we get to know a person. Before you get the ring, you didn't already gave them everything. So you can't expect the ring if you didn't gave all the cow.
So this is another thing. For 3 months, he didn't come to her house. She didn't come to his house. When he did finally bring her to his house, baby, put together.
Wow.
Again,
It's really. I guess what I'm trying to say is his charisma. That's what she about to be married.
I bet he was cute. I think he was cute. Was he cute?
I mean, he looked like one of those not Idris Elba, but what is his name?
I'm like, you can wear champions if you look like that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think
I was having visual like champions. You probably look funny.
But you have to be careful. You have to be careful how you put your trauma on somebody. That's the point she's getting to, because you come with so much trauma and baggage, you overlook what the royalty really looks like.
Right.
It ain't always bling bling. It's not.
No,
I ain't saying champions, but I mean like.
Have y'all seen my husband?
Like, I wear expensive.
Oh my God, Trey.
Millionaire. He's millionaire in his mind and in his pocket. But the thing is, people was judging me so deep, like, you're not gonna marry him. Stop looking at people's features. Stop looking at what a person wears. That's where you went wrong, because you so worried about how people gonna perceive what he looked like and who you got. I didn't worry about that. And I'm amazing.
And now she getting married,
Right.
No,
But see, she could have messed that up. She could have really messed that up by not giving him, the respect of letting him be who he was.
Yep. I guess that's the only reason why I'm telling you that story, is because there is a lot of women that will go out and everybody looking for the cars and everybody's looking for the look. And not to say you cannot go by looks. That's fine. But but sometimes that leads you to unnecessary lust that's not genuine.
Exactly.
It's not a genuine connection. It's lust connection.
Yep, there it is.
That's it. So what he did was took all his valuables off. He took all of his things away because he wanted her to see the real him.
That's right.
So
not all the material things.
We're not necessarily saying he gotta be ugly though, right?
No, he ain't gotta be ugly. But
people gotta be materialistic, right?
It wasn't her type.
Don't be any of those things.
It wasn't her type, though. It wasn't her type.
Right. Do that and won't be single.
It wasn't her type.
And you know what? What might be ugly to you ain't ugly to everybody.
He's just a little bit taller.
Yeah. So we did a show on the Hit Show podcast when I was my cast members kind of tore me up because I was like, I wanted to date a person who was together. I was saying something about I didn't want to date a person who didn't have a car. I wanted the person to be well put together. And then some people was like, and some people say, well, you wouldn't date a person on the bus? Like, honestly, I'm being truthfully, No, I wouldn't. I'm not saying that if his car broke down and that's what he had to do because he didn't want to ask me for a ride, he wanted to go ahead and get it done. But to me, I wouldn't be. That's not who I would, be attracted to.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people was like, well, that's messed up. No, because I want somebody that's well put together. For example, Love and Hip Hop, Erica Mena. She dated Safari and she fell in love with him. Now see what she has to go through.
Yep.
She went for the love
Yep.
versus getting someone that was well put together, far as on the same level as her. She went for love. And that's fine. But now she has to be forced to take care of her children. Kind of, he kind of put her through the ringer, telling the courts when they got a divorce that she makes more money than me and I shouldn't have to do this and I shouldn't have to do that. But people beat you up about, what you want in the person. I mean, my cat, they beat me up like, oh, one of the girls was like, oh, so you wouldn't date nobody on the bus. I just think that's wrong. No, it's not. Because if I'm already coming in well established, why would I want to date someone that's not established? Not saying they have to be all the way at my level, but I don't want to date no one where I have to take care of, or I have to meet you halfway, or we can't do certain things because I don't want you to feel uncomfortable because I want to plan a trip, but we really can't do it because I know you're not financially stable.
Yeah.
Necessity.
Yeah, in this point in my life, why would I go backwards?
And that's why I was just saying about the example I just gave.
Yeah.
Because some people can, again, they can have the car, they can have their crib, they can be very well established, but they trash.
Right.
Yeah.
But even with Erica Mena, she didn't like him at first. She couldn't stand him.
Didn't.
Right.
He pushed himself on her.
So sometimes you're overlooking what's already in front of you.
Yeah.
And
the red flags was there.
Yep.
And
he underscored about him and Nicki Minaj.
Yeah, and she didn't even go off of that. But soon as he was mad and couldn't get his way, he dragged her.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? When he couldn't get his way, that's a good example. That's why I want to mess with somebody that's established like me.
Yep.
Because as soon as he felt like she didn't want him no more, she wouldn't take his bullshit no more. He was like, I'm gonna just do you dirty. And I don't care. And I'm going to come on this show and still hang out and still have fun and still look for my next victim. Because that's the type of man that I am.
One thing I can say about Safari, look where he is from. That should just tell it all. I'm not going to say all Jamaican men are like that.
Right.
But he comes from a culture, obviously, that is not. That is sometimes their culture there.
Yeah.
Where they can have 2 and 3 girlfriends.
Yep.
That's where everybody.
That's all he's saying. He's even mentioned that his own father had 2 and 4 wives and 2 and 4 girlfriends.
Right.
So that's all he knew. That's all he grew up. Now, is that to say that he should continue to do that? No. But literally, that's all someone knows. And that just somebody's culture alone like that, a Jamaican?
Or even how they raised.
Go to Jamaica.
About a person too. With their family.
They don't care if you marry. They don't give a damn.
Nope.
Even when you go there to visit.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm saying. I kind of feel like
yeah, it's just like sometimes you gotta know who you with, and you don't have to just always just settle. I mean, it's okay to be with someone and you guys grow.
Mm-hmm.
But at this, if I'm with someone and they're down here, I don't want that. I want to be with someone right here, and then we can rise up.
I want them to match
you.
Right.
That's right.
I want them to match me. So that doesn't mean I'm a gold digger. That doesn't mean that I feel I'm better than someone else. I'm just going to try to attract the person that's here for me. Because then we can rise up and have more. I don't want to mess with somebody who is on the bus line, and I'm not knocking it. And I'm not saying that just because you ride a bus that you don't have something. What I'm saying is like this point in my life, I know what I want.
Right.
So I'm looking for a certain person, a certain bracket far as financial
I ain't got
that I need to deal with. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking for that because I'm talking about my next relationship. I would love to be my last relationship and we're walking down the aisle.
Yeah.
You know, every relationship that I've been in, the man took over. You know, the men took over the bills. I mean, I wasn't fully paying everything by myself, but with my kids' fathers, they took care of the bills. They did everything they were supposed to do. They were hustlers. You see what I'm saying? Never really clocked in 9 to 5, big time drug dealers. You know what I'm saying? So I was used to a certain lifestyle and a certain luxury. But when you break up with that person and you feel like, damn, I went from having all of this to now I'm a single mom, you look at things differently.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So, and people don't understand that. So for you to come at me with money, for you to come at me with money and trying to date me, I don't care about your money because I got my own money.
Right.
Back when I was 20 years old, oh, okay, yeah, you can pay all my bills. I don't gotta do that. Okay, you know what I'm saying? But right now, I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for somebody who can match me, that we can do it together.
Yeah.
That we can come up together, that I can learn something from you and you can learn something from me.
Mm-hmm.
And if you get motivated, baby, if I feel like I can't motivate you to get more than what you got, then you're not the person for me. Because every day I get up, I'm thinking of a different way to make some money. I'm thinking of a different way, a different program I can get in to get a certification, to make more money. You know what I'm saying? I'm just my whatever.
Right.
If you're not motivated, when you get up in the morning and you're not motivated, then you're not the person for me. I can try to work with that and try to get you in that because some people have different things. Some people have childhood trauma. I don't want to deal with nobody's childhood trauma. If your dad used to beat you back in the day and you still ain't got help, I'm not the person for you because my personality is too strong for that. And then you will be somewhere in the corner crying. And I'm gonna be honest, I have a strong personality.
Right.
So I'm not for the childhood trauma trying to make it work. I'm not the person for you because I'm gonna say something fucked up one day and you're gonna be like, oh my God, yes.
I'm a fixer. I'm like, it's okay.
You know what I'm saying? That's why I keep saying like
certain things, certain things that I look for, and it's not being picky. I want to deal with somebody who has it all the way together mentally.
Yeah.
Because I'm mentally stable. Not saying that I'm perfect. Now I do have flaws. I may be a little picky. I'm a clean freak. You a little junkie. I may say, hey, babe, let's get this together.
But you just said something that's important though. And that's what it actually bows down to. It doesn't matter whether you're looking for marriage or whether you're looking to be with somebody and date. If you don't have yourself all the way together, then nobody should be on the dating prowl, period.
Yeah, that's true.
And if you don't have your traumas in place, and if you don't have yourself together, if you shouldn't even be that should be last on the list.
It should.
You should even be entertaining to date. I mean, that's just my personal opinion, because who are you to tell somebody what they doing, but you over here got masculine vibes? Ain't no man gonna want that. Right. They're just not. So, but there's a lot of people who don't want to have that accountability. They don't want to do no therapy. They don't want to do no shadow work. They just think, well, you ain't work out. There's something wrong with you. You ain't got A, B, and C. You ain't got this put together that I see. On to the next.
Yeah.
Right.
But
I feel like
you're not taking the time to look at yourself, though.
Yeah.
Even in marriages, whether you're married, like what I did, that masculine behavior that I was doing and cussing up a storm and stuff, that ain't do nothing but cause more chaos in my life.
Yes.
It ain't do nothing for me. And I'm married. And that's why I'm saying that. And it still does sometimes. And sometimes I'm like, I gotta just shut up. Just shut up.
Right.
Shut up.
Right.
But a lot of females do not want to sometimes do that, and some males don't either. And that's why I wanted to share that example about her dating him, because there is people like that, have on regular shoes, not into all the flashiness, not into showing all their residuals and bank accounts and stuff like that. And it'll fly by a man and a woman in a minute. Like, you pass that up.
Because I know guys that be quick to say, like, I got 2 businesses. I don't care.
You ain't even you didn't even take the time to find out, but you clowning him because he got champions on.
Right.
I even had a guy like cuss me out.
I
actually had a guy cuss me out because I think he asked me for money. And he was like, I would have paid you back. I was like, my whole thing is I'm just not in that space where I want to be in a position. I have 4 kids. So in my head, I'm not about to give a man money. And I have 4 kids. You shouldn't even ask me. You know what I'm saying?
You're not supposed to.
Like, well, that's what you do. I was like, well, I was raised that a male is supposed to be a provider. You know what I'm saying? I like. He like, what if you needed some money? I would never ask you for money. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like if we were in a serious relationship, it'd be a different kind of situation, because it's also it depends on the scenario on if I would give somebody money like that. Right. But like everybody been saying, I didn't went through stuff, and it took me to go through relationships. It was crazy because I've been in 2 serious relationships, and with both relationships I had kids with. My first relationship, we were together for 10 years. Like, we were like college sweethearts, and we were dating ever since beginning of college and all that stuff. And I felt like I catered and did all of that stuff. And I went through everything under the sun with just this one person. Like, everything you could think of, I went through with that one person. And it only took him for me to learn what I will not tolerate or what I will deal with.
Exactly.
You know I feel like I'm with Antoinette. I feel like you at least have to have the bare minimums. You got to at least have a car, a home that is your own, whether it's an apartment or a house. I do not want to. I'm sorry, I can't. If I can live on my own.
Because some people have good jobs, and maybe they're just not on an entrepreneur level, but they got a good job.
Yeah.
You may motivate them to do that.
Right.
You may motivate them to do that.
And I've been in relationships where with my second relationship, he wanted to do his own business. I tried to push him, like, oh, you know what? I work in the office job. I can do all your paperwork. I can type it up. I can show you different ways to type it up. I Googled this. I looked up this. I researched this. I'm all like Antoinette said, I'm all about building you, because when I'm building you, I'm building us. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But a lot of times, a lot of guys out here, I'm not trying to throw shade or nothing. It's just they're not built that way no more. Like, you don't come across those kind of guys. And especially for me, my biggest challenge is I do attract a lot of younger dudes. That's one of my biggest challenges. It don't matter what I come outside with. I get the young ones. You know what I'm saying?
Where you at? Where you be at? When you get a hold of
I be everywhere. I'm being serious. A lot of times people come at me and they'll talk to me like I'm a little kid, and I'll be like, "Girl, I'm older than you. I'm older than you." I was like, "What are you talking about?"
Right.
Grown real quick. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, like the dating pool, and then you got to keep in mind, like, statistically speaking, we're overpopulated with more females than we are with males. You know what I'm saying?
In some places.
Which places is that? Because is it a different state?
You got your passport?
And all y'all single females, stop going to these bars asking niggas to buy y'all drinks.
Yes, stop it.
Please.
And that's the crazy part. The crazy part is I actually hang out with a lot of females.
Thirsty. It gives.
But I never hung out with any females that do that. All the females that I mess with, they're very independent. Like, they'll go to a bar, buy their own drink. They're not expecting the guy to buy them a drink.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
That's how it should be.
And a lot of
because
times,
when we go out, we buy each other around.
Right.
We in our own little world having our own.
Because that's why there's males that are looking to see who is doing it.
And the crazy part is those females that I know that do that type of stuff, those are the ones that got relationships.
Man.
But it be the wrong relationships. Everybody ain't happy. Everybody, and then everybody ain't in the relationship
that
too.
part.
Because a man can say one thing, and then a woman thinking they're in a relationship because they're playing a relationship role.
Yep.
And they feel like they in a relationship, but at the same time, your man is in my inbox telling me that he's single.
That part.
And I even know females. And I know females.
People are okay with being the bare minimum and racking up 10 years and shut up. And then there's some people that ain't on that. They like, no, bruh.
And I know females that be like, oh, he didn't buy you a drink. He didn't buy you no drink. Oh, I ain't never went here and went out and I ain't buy me a drink. I'm like, wait, what? I'm like, I couldn't even tell you the last time I actually had a guy buy me a drink. I can't even recall the last time.
And to me, when that was going on, even when I was single, when people bought you a drink, they clingy. Like, dude, I'm not marrying you tomorrow. Like,
right.
I'm good.
It's like you trying to buy me a car or something, and I'm
right.
Like, no.
And I think that's why I had the mindset like I would never
even want you to buy me nothing.
Exactly.
Right. Because I don't want you thinking it's going any further than that drink.
Because
right.
the crazy part, I may not believe this. Like Antoinette said, like as soon as they buy you a drink, they feel like you owe them something because they bought you a drink. Like I had a guy when I was standing. I was at it was like a lounge. It was like a bar lounge. And me and a couple girls went. And we was outside just standing talking, and the guy came up to me and started talking to me. I'm like, no, thank you, I'm good, thank you though. And I felt like I had to say I had a boyfriend. I probably was wrong for it, but I was like, yeah, I got a boyfriend. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm thinking of get him. Because I was trying to be nice because it was like I just wasn't. No, thank you. I have a boyfriend. So when I walked away, and I'm like, he in there or whatever. You know what I'm saying? He came up to me and was literally arguing with me, like, how you have a boyfriend? How you gonna say you had a boyfriend? Da-da-da. I'm like, why does it matter? Like, I'm not trying to talk to you. Like, leave me alone. Like, why are you trying to talk? Like, shouldn't that register or resonate? Like, sometimes and that's another problem when you meet guys. Sometimes they don't know how to take no. It's like bad aggressive. It's like the bad aggressive. Like, tell me no. Like, leave me alone. Like, why is you still following me? Or you tell them like, no, thank you, I'm not interested. They'll circle back around like, is she intoxicated yet? Let me try it one more time. Like, how you feeling? You good? Like, yeah, I'm wondering. Like, then I swear I just said no to you like literally an hour ago. Like, why is she still trying to talk to me?
Yeah, the thirst be real. I'm telling you. But we're not gonna keep. We can be on this subject all night. You know. So Karen, tell the audience a little bit about yourself, your businesses, what you got going on.
Yes, ma'am. So again, like you guys heard me, if you've been listening, I am a travel agent. I've been doing it for 6 years in business part, but I've definitely been traveling like over 15 years. So I got into the business 6 years ago, business wise, and I definitely love it. It's rewarding. I feel travel is literally like a second therapy for me. So any trips, any type of YOLO, dolo, want to be by yourself, girls trips, group trips, come and holler at me at Pleasure Excursions on Facebook. And I'm on Facebook, TikTok, and also Instagram.
Yeah.
And
when I tell you,
send me all your traveling details. I definitely, my niche and specialty is the Caribbean. So hands down, love it. I can tell you where to go, what not to do as soon as you step up off the plane. I do cruises. I do all inclusive. I am out of probably a handful, a needle in the haystack who offers payment plans. Not many agents do that. So, you know, my goal is to get with people who don't have all the money, don't know how to travel, or they don't know how to start it. So those are literally a lot of my clients. Another thing that I do on the side is candles. I'm actually relaunching everything. I did very well in my first launch, but there was just some things I did not like as in business and entrepreneur mindset that I felt like I needed to redo. So, you know, you can never stop relaunching yourself and reinvesting in your business to be better. So right now I am taking a hiatus and really getting my marketing plan down so I can really push it the way I really want to push it the second time. So be on the look for that. But I am still selling things. I'm getting ready to start selling stuff for the Christmas time, and that is Heaven Sent candles. I love it. Love it.
And I just want to touch on something too. When I tell you that, and I'm not just saying this because Karen is my friend. I'm telling because people be like, "Oh, she trying to boost my friend."
Yes,
let me hear it.
You
she
know,
will actually vouch for you. She's been on a trip.
Yeah, I've been on trips with Karen, and when I tell you everything, she finds everything from your transportation coming from where you need to go. She even hook you up with a guy. You know, anybody, well, not hook you up with a guy, but hook you up with transportation where you have transportation the whole time down there. If you don't want to Uber, she, you know, if you say, hey, I want to do something romantic for my girlfriend, she'll make sure, you know, you have bottle service in the hotel.
I love those.
Yeah, you know, anything that you need, she's going to make sure that you have a great experience. And that's one thing that I love about her. She's going to, whatever you tell her and sit down with her, she's going to make it happen. If you say that me and my girls trying to party all night, she going to get you that party bus. She going, if you going to Miami, you know, she going to hook you up and tell you the things to do and not to do. I mean, she's all around a good travel agent. And I love, when,
and I'm not one of those agents where I think I'm going to know everything. You know,
right.
I just sat here and told y'all I couldn't tell you what to do if we went to Africa. But, you know, that's something that I'm actually setting myself up to train for going in 2023 so I can, you know, do that. So I'm definitely humble in my experience. I'm one of those agents. If I can't assist you, I will kindly give you to plenty other ones, you know, that will be able to assist you. So I'm never the person that's like, ooh, I'm a gatekeeper where no, you can't go to nobody else or anything like that. Even if you want to call up and ask me questions, I'm more than happy to answer. And again, what sets me apart is I accept payment plans to where some people, they do not. And that what sets me apart from people booking their trips on their own to someone who is experienced, been doing it for a while, and meet your budget, not what I want you to pay, what you want to pay.
Right.
You know, it's all about you and to make it affordable for you and what you can afford. You know, because what's the trip if you can't afford it?
Right.
Right.
So if it's not in your budget, then we're not even going to go there. You know, and if it ain't, if you want to do that, I've had people that do that. I'm all for it. And you still be on the payment plan, even if it's $1,000. You know?
Yeah, and make sure you guys check out her pages. Like right now, she has something for Paris.
Yes, I have something for Paris, Vegas.
Yeah, trips,
for
packages.
Mother's Day in Jamaica too.
Right. So, you know, check out her pages and, you know, make sure you know, get with her. And I'm telling you, you won't be disappointed. So, Tracy, tell us a little bit about yourself.
That people should really take serious. You know, I definitely take my kids. Like I said, I'm a person, I would jump in the car by myself with my kids and we will get gone. Because to me, I believe in experiences over material things. As I don't got no nails on now, because I'm I mean, not to say that everybody who got nails on, they wasting their money. I'm just being truthful about myself. Like
don't wear that dress on.
I have trips on layaway for 2023. No shame.
Right.
I'm on a payment plan just like my client. Just like my client. You know?
Like, see you there.
I'm not sitting on my high horse like I just sit here and just throw out all my money on trips. But I do pay on them like that.
Yeah.
And, but people know I'll be gone.
Right.
You'll see that status like I'm gone.
Right.
Hey, like, where are you going now? Like,
but if you making payment plans, you making it affordable. Can't nobody be mad.
Right. Right.
I
Like,
definitely
stop
thought you. I
doing
like to
things
go at
you
least
can
one
get
place
paid.
a year with my kids. I like to go. I always, because when I was younger, I didn't get to travel a lot. So when we
Yes.
have kids, that's the one thing I always guarantee. Like we at least go
Yes.
somewhere. I don't care if we got to get in a car and just
Yep.
bump over to another state for a couple of
Yes.
days. They get mad because my oldest one, she at that age where she don't like to travel and all that. Nope. We all go.
And that's what I do it for. I do it to inspire. I do it to inspire.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
what I'm doing it for, because there is some people think that they can't afford to go nowhere. Oh yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Just sacrifice a little bit.
I'm trying to hit all the states.
Well, I am Tracy Kane. I own 24-hour daycare, and I am private pay. And I'm private pay for a reason. But I own a 24-hour daycare, which is We Are Incredibles. We Are Care Incredible Years LLC. And I'm private care because I just have ventured into foster care. So I love working with kids. I love working with family. I love working in my community. So I have adventured out of daycare into now foster care. So I have both. And I own my own transportation company. It's called We Are Care. So I drive for multiple schools, multiple daycare centers, but I don't do it all by myself. I do have staff, and I love inventing jobs for other people that are flexible with their schedule, people who don't want to work a 9 to 5, but they do need an income. And so I love helping and being in the community and serving my community, advocating for people who can't advocate for themselves, which is more than likely a lot of children. And as you heard, I'm married, and I have a cool Kidspiration Club where I teach kids etiquette on how to eat, how to be out in public. A lot of kids are scared to be back in the public because of COVID, or they found a dark place to hide. They don't believe that their gifts and that their features and the way they look is acceptable nowadays. So I'm teaching them to come back out in the community and how to be accepted, because everybody's gift is given by God, and it's accepted whether people want to accept it or not, but they have to respect you. So I work with kids most of my days. I work with a lot of adults when it comes to reuniting kids, and I work transportation company for multiple schools. I do transport.
Okay. Good. So T, tell us a little bit about what you got going on.
After that.
Girl, you got something up your sleeve. Don't be doing what the men be doing. Intimidation.
Don't do that. I got some things in the works. I can't talk about it yet, because it's still in that dabble point. I'm coming up with my own businesses. I'm working on, trying to do a little something, because certain things in my life have made me reassess. I do model. I have modeled for Antoinette and 20 Shades. She helped me out a lot, and got a lot of jobs of working with her. So she did help me out with a lot of jobs. So I want to shout out 20 Shades. Woo woo. So I model, I act, I do like to do plays, theater stuff. I'm starting to try to break into the movie scene, trying to do a little bit more with movies and stuff like that. I haven't really did stuff like side.
Are you in Columbus?
No, I should be in Columbus. I'm like, thinking about it. I'm here. I'm in Cleveland. I'm
okay.
In Cleveland.
And
that's the crazy part. It's funny that you say that, because a lot of the jobs that I usually be getting, I have to drive all the way out to Columbus.
Yeah.
To do like a lot of my modeling gigs and stuff like that, it's been located in Columbus. I don't want to say fortunately, but they do treat me good out there. I have to say that they do treat me good out there.
Yeah, they do. That's what I'm saying. Cleveland treats me good.
In Cleveland.
That's why I was just saying you said that you were in the acting and stuff. They have a casting. One of the designers that me and Antoinette know, she's doing like a movie thing.
Yeah, I did see that. I think I did see that. I might
doing that.
I have a meeting on the 5th. You talking about the one on the 5th? Is that the one that's on December 5th?
I think yes.
See, my daughter does.
No. It's the 17th. Dia Farmer, Antoinette.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out.
She's doing another casting for that. Yeah,
I might have to check that out then. I did do theater in college, so that's what made me always wanted to go into acting and stuff like that. Everybody tried to tell me I should be a comedian, but I'm not there yet. This is like sidebar stuff I can do. I don't know in front of an actual audience, you know what I'm saying? I'm funny in spirit, you know. But but I do a lot of modeling. That's mainly that's my joy, my passion. Acting, theater. I work in insurance, so
Me too.
but I probably know everything there is about any kind of insurance. I didn't dibble dabble and all that stuff too. So I do work on a couple of podcasts too. TMI, make sure you check that out, as well as the hit show. I don't want to do no shade.
None taken. It's plenty out there for all of us to eat.
That's right. It's plenty for everybody.
Right. You may catch me on this. I try to be as active as I can. So I try to be on there. I also be in the lab with DJ Jack the Ripper. So you can check that out on Mondays too.
On Monday.
It'd be nice topics. They talk about mainly rap and all that stuff. And they have other topics too, but I be on there faithfully every Monday. So that's what I'm doing. I might be looking into, my own little podcast thing. Sometimes I don't get to talk as freely as I want to. My mouth can be reckless. Sometimes it hurts feelings and sometimes it don't.
But that's how sometimes the best is when it's
right.
Raw.
And I like to keep it real. Sometimes keeping it real go wrong, but I'm okay with it going wrong, So I like to talk. I'm a talker. So anything that I can do where I get to talk and stuff like that. I'm really involved in my daughter because she does gymnastics. So that's another reason why we get to travel a lot. My daughter actually goes out of state. She's on a team and she goes out of state. So we actually go into Michigan this weekend and Florida next weekend. I might need to talk to you about that. Maybe you can give me some discount tickets for Disney World.
Matter of fact, hand me the people that's in her gymnastics. Like, y'all need somebody to take care of y'all.
We were talking. They were talking about a trip in. What was it? Mexico. It's a trip in August for Mexico. They might.
Oh, Mexico. Yes.
I don't know about that, but I do like to dabble in little stuff. I try little ventures. I've been working on trying to go back to law school too. So we'll see how that pans out. But
everything is possible.
Yeah, it is. I want to quote a Disney show because we already know how y'all talked about that. But I do
like. You can put on the payment plan.
But I mean, it's safe to do that.
I can't literally quote it, and I can tell you what movie it is, unless you want the Whitney Houston version.
But as you guys know, I am Antoinette B. You can follow me on Facebook, Antoinette Barkley, Antoinette B. 20 Shades of Love modeling group. Have my own modeling group where we mentor models. We have a group where there's opportunities inside of the group.
Yes, ma'am.
2023, like Karen said, it's okay to revamp and do some touch-ups. So 2023 is going to be more paying opportunities. 2023, I'm working on it. I'm going to have more acting things. I'm going to be able to provide people with acting coaches and just different things for 2023 to be able to help people. I can say that everybody in the group is successful, and it's not even about modeling or hitting the runway or even commercial, but I can say that all my girls in the group are successful at what they're doing. Yes. And, we all help each other. And, Tracy's in the group, T is in the group. Yes. And other models that has been on my podcast is in the group. I try to give opportunities to everyone, and that's just me. I'm a community-based person. Anybody who knows me, I try to be there for the community and try to open up doors for other people because there's plenty of room to eat. I don't believe I don't believe in where you blocking people. I feel like if all you ladies come out of here wanting to start a podcast, I wouldn't take it as if, they trying to do how I'm trying to do it. I'm taking it as, maybe I inspire them to want to be able to come and talk about something. And I've always had that attitude with anybody. If you know of me, know that it's room out here to eat, and what's for you is for you, and God is going to make that be for you. And so I tell anybody at all times, make sure you follow your dreams and know your purpose. You have to know your purpose in life because you will miss out on a lot when you don't know your purpose.
That's right.
And I'm not trying to hype this up because I'm part of your group or anything. Look, no, because before I went into your group, that was my biggest trouble. Like, because I initially played football, and when I started playing football, I played for the Cleveland Fusions. You know what I'm saying? And with working with them, that's what kind of gave me avenues for modeling. But then after my kid's father passed away and stuff, it kind of made me sit back. And then when I tried to come back in, it was like, how do I get in there? I was literally having trouble. Like, I would ask other females or other models, and they really wouldn't want to give me the information. But then the same ones that be like, nobody will never give me information. And it'll be like, I don't know why nobody don't want to share. So with her group, you know, it helped me get my breakout, because the year that I broke out, I was getting back-to-back jobs where it was like I was too thirsty, where I was eating like twice a week, and it was like or double booking on the same day. And I'm like, why did I just do that? Like, and I'm getting worn out, but it was like that good worn out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
With the stuff that I even got signed with Sierra, thanks to internet, getting introduced to her, and I got signed with her.
Wow.
LA Republic.
Yeah. So it's a lot of opportunities. There's a lot of opportunities out there.
And it does real good things, and it also branches you out to other groups that do a lot of stuff too. And I just wanted to give that little shout out to her, because I just want to make sure she knows, like, my knowledge where I came from. Because it really did help. And that's what, like, this sounds crazy because I love to talk, so I'm gonna try to keep it to a minimum. But I always had trouble trying to figure out what I wanted to do in life. Like, you know, when you have your plan set out for you in the beginning, and then when you actually go into that direction, because I have degrees in political science and criminology and stuff like that, so, and social work. So when I started going in that direction, I felt like, oh, you know, I don't know if this is something I really want to do, or it wasn't like they glorified it to be when I got into it. And with me going in that group, it actually helped me seeing everybody eating bread and doing certain stuff, and actually finding out what they want to do. Yeah. And it's like, you don't have to work for nobody. You don't have to work for somebody. You can make your own business and be productive and get to that bag. Like, you don't have to be set on one thing, or
that's right.
A job where you're miserable.
And plus, modeling it's definitely a brutal.
It's hard
in my eyes industry, and you know, I was full throttle at one point in time, but now I didn't got relaxed, and I just do certain things, and you'll start to do that yourself.
That's right.
You know, so I don't do it as often as I do, because
see, I got freaked out because I consider myself a plus size, but I'm like in that middle spot where it's like I'm not big enough to be plus size, and I'm not small enough to be that standard size of a model. So that used to always have me get a little insecurities, like, how am I make it here? Like, I'm kind of big. I don't look like her. She's getting picked for every single job, and I'm not getting picked for anything.
What size are you?
I'm a extra large. I'm an extra large. But
you're 14.
Yeah, like I'm between like between 12 and 14. It depends on that outfit. But a lot of times when it's either they want it bigger than that or smaller than that, and I'm shaped. I'm not saying I ain't curvy, but I'm like curvy. I'm a Black female, you know what I'm saying? You know how those are shaped. I don't know how you say that, but it's harder to get a lot of modeling gigs, or at least I felt like it was harder for me to get a lot of modeling gigs. I really have to strive and struggle and hustle to do it. It's not for the weak.
No,
it's something that I had to learn. Like, you had to have that tough skin. They turn you down.
Yeah.
Well, I knew, like,
and you have to also put yourself in a position that just because those offers come to you, you do not have to do everything.
That's right.
And that's where, you know, I've done a whole lot of shows, and as I became to be my own entrepreneur and venture off and do things I wanted to do, you know, I had to balance that, and I couldn't. It got to the point where I'm doing, everybody want me over here, but I'm not doing what I'm passionate about.
Yes.
And that is my travel. So I had to cut some of the ties out to where, you know, I can't constantly work on somebody else's stuff if I'm not working on mine.
That's right.
And that comes with balance. And I'm talking about doing 5 and 8 shows a year, and all back to back every other month. Yeah, sometimes 2 and 3 in 1 month.
But the crazy part is, like, now I feel like I'm at that point where I can go into a place. I already know what they're looking for with the type of design. Like,
you will.
Am I wasting my time, or am I?
It'll get to the point when you start continue to do it too. Mm-hmm. You might not even have to cast at all. They'll just reach out in your inbox like, Antoinette, Tracy. Yep. Hey, I'm gonna need you for this. Come through. And this is yeah, you don't need to show up to do nothing.
Nope.
Right. And a lot of times I just stop, like I don't do shows like I used to. Like, you still model, and I'm like, well, I really don't have the time for it. I love it. I love it. But my thing is more behind the scenes. I know, what I'm saying, just more behind the scenes, throwing the show, helping and mentoring models and helping them get to the next thing. So far as me being in a fashion show,
it's not that important.
It's really not important to me. My thing is now maybe working on a modeling agency, because a lot of people think that my group is an agency, and it's not. I just have it structured on a page as if I am an agency. Because I thought about what I wanted before I did it. It was, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of people just go into stuff just to say they're doing it. But a lot of people be like, can you tell me a little bit about your agency? And I'm like, well, it's not an agency, it's a free group. Anybody can be in it. You know what I'm saying? I don't even charge people. That's how passionate that I am. And and when people get gigs and stuff, I don't charge people. I'm just blessed that I was able to help somebody get to the next level, like Tiara, who came in and really didn't know. And really didn't know what to look for, really didn't know about a comp card, really didn't know the things that she needed to know. But now you can't tell her nothing. She knows what to look for. She knows that, hey, I'm not just going to sign up for anything. I'm going to take a look at it, because I teach everyone in the group that you can't be excited to want to be signed. It takes time, and it's okay to be independent and be able to pocket your money at first. And then if you find somebody who wants to sign you, then that's fine too. But you need to look at that contract and get to know, because people will take 10% of everything that you have. And
that's in anything.
Like, I got this from being in 20 Shades, but since you're under them, they're like, no, you had to get that from me. No, you need to learn your contract and know your contract. Because I had girls who was under contract with people that was paying their agents 10%, and they didn't even find them the gig I did. You see what I'm saying? And now they're looking like, oh my goodness.
And then another thing is, because I don't go with an agency. Like, people like, you ain't with an agency? I'm like, first of all, I have a busy schedule because I do work a 9-to-5 job or whatever, and I'm busy with my kids and doing certain stuff, or I have other products or certain things that I'm participating in or doing, stuff like that. Where I don't feel like I'm consistent to where I can actually go with an agency, and I just feel like I'm not there yet. I just feel like I'm just not there yet. I'm not.
And that's why I keep saying, when you have things to work on, which is if you value your kids and your family, that has to be the forefront.
That's right.
Continue to keep continuing to follow up behind people because this is a good thing to do, and this is a good. At the end of the day, you are valuing your time to what they want you to do, and not what you want to do.
Now, my daughter
has to really evaluate that. Really evaluate that, because I think a lot of people get into the modeling thing and they lose themselves and they lose sight of what they really want to do, because they're too busy trying to do everything to prove something. You don't got nothing to prove but yourself.
Please
nothing to prove to nobody. Just
but
because I took a hiatus for 6 months, that don't mean I ain't still a bad bitch and I can't walk.
Right.
I'm just saying.
Right. Because once it's in you, it don't leave you. It don't leave you. Once it's in you, it's in you. It doesn't leave you.
Things have to take a back burner and be a priority. And
that's it. Right. Yep. If you keep pleasing everybody else, you're never gonna find you, or you're gonna lose your passion for what you came to do because you're pleasing everybody else. So you just
gonna
fall
find
in
out,
line.
right? And you're gonna find out real quick.
Mm-mm.
Wow, I did all this makeup, I did all this running around for somebody else.
And I feel like everybody's all
really
clicky.
what I'm doing it for.
The modeling agency, like the modeling scene, is all clicky. It's clicky.
It is clicky, yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
But see, that's why I tell everybody you can't be a sitting duck. Because if I didn't go to Columbus, Ohio, I wouldn't have met Karen. If I didn't go to Columbus, Ohio, I wouldn't have met Tracy.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? These people traveled back and forth to Akron.
Yes.
But if I didn't go to a model call because I was waiting on 5 of my friends who said they was going to go and carpool,
yeah,
and I waited on them,
wait on
I would miss out on my opportunity. But I got to the point to where I couldn't be scared. If this is what I want, I have to show up.
Yep.
Right. And a lot of them
I can't wait on people.
A lot of them are
and I teach my girls in my group. Ain't no partner. You don't have a partner when it's in modeling.
Nope.
It's yourself. Exactly. Because what's for you is for you. Because if you go in as a partner and you don't get picked, you're gonna be disappointed.
Yeah.
You gotta go for yourself. So when you want to go to a model call and y'all two want to go just to save on gas, that's fine. If that's in the plan. But you don't have a partner when it comes to modeling.
That's right.
On you
to
make it.
Yep.
You to put in the work. You to put in the hard work.
Yep.
Because if you waiting on 2 people, you're gonna be disappointed because it may be something that they may not want from me, but may want from Tierra. It may be something that they may not want from me. It may want from Karen or Tracy or whoever.
Yep.
So I came and I have to be able to take that. I'm not gonna be picked for everything.
And I definitely have, and just like she said, I have definitely turned down a lot of stuff because people wanted me in lingerie and all kind of lingerie. To where if you're single, that is fine. Even if you're married, that is fine.
No,
my husband is not going to deal with that, and I respect my husband well enough to not do that. So when it comes to opportunities like that, I know off top. And sometimes I don't even have to mention it to some of the designers. They already know me because they work with me already.
Yeah.
Like, well, I already know she ain't doing that.
Right.
No, me
ain't no need to be putting her in the group. And that's because I stand on what I see.
You got to stand firm.
And not what you want me to do.
Right.
And not what you want me to do. And not what you want me to wear.
Yeah.
That's because I don't want to do that.
Yeah,
that's not my moral. That's not my value, and I'm not here to say that those ones who do it and they show all they stuff that they don't have no morals. That's
right. But
me.
You got to know your purpose. Like you said, you got to know your purpose.
I'm not here.
That's not my purpose to have me all like that. But it's not bad because some people get paid for it. Some people advertise because they're comfortable in their body. But I'm about to get in big trouble because I did not mention that I model African clothing. Yes, and everybody knows my sister Coco Mwasi.
Yes,
she always got me doing something, okay, that I don't want to do, but I have to do it because she's my sister. However, when I model the African clothing and we have women come out, you are allowed to come out and be who you are. When people start putting standards on you and start making you do things that they want to see you do, then they don't have your best interest at hand. They don't
be okay with turning it down.
That's right. I let it go. I'm like, no. But with Coco, I can't turn it down because she'll chase me down.
Yeah, but Coco ain't doing, lingerie and stuff like that.
No, she's not going to do that.
No, Coco's straight African, handmade.
Yes.
They sewing it and they really getting the fabric, rolls of fabric.
Yes.
And really doing it. And I loved her show and her experience because she brought Africa to Columbus, Ohio.
Yes.
With the drum. If you haven't been to a show this year, she usually have her shows in the summertime between
August 27th.
August and September. Yeah,
August 27th.
Come because you're gonna eat. You're gonna have African food.
Yes.
You're gonna have African dancers. She's gonna give you a whole experience.
Yes.
Of Africa, and I'm telling you. But we will be on here all night. We already been on here for 2 hours and 38 minutes.
Lord,
I appreciate the conversation. But I gotta go to work in the AM, and I know you ladies gotta go to work.
5 in the AM.
You guys are more than welcome.
Well, thank you so much, Antoinette, for bringing us on today. This was definitely a nice experience. It's nice meeting you, ladies. TK already know you. You can't be acting up, though. So I appreciate the opportunity, Antoinette. This is big. You continue to keep doing what you're doing. I know sometimes people just say stuff just to be saying stuff, but every time I tell you that, I'm really genuinely telling you. You know,
Yeah,
because that's why I share everything that you have, because a lot of people think you got to buy something to support. It's all about sharing somebody's content,
right.
and that's it. That's all you need to do sometimes.
That's
So I
it.
appreciate that. Everything that you supported me on and I supported you on, I really, truly appreciate that.
Yeah, and that's what it's about, just supporting each other and loving each other and helping each other make it to the next level. It does not cost for you to help somebody.
That's
You
right.
get that back in, you get that back in blessings, honey. You're
For
gonna
sure.
always stay afloat. You're gonna
Yes.
always, God has blessed me. And when I tell people, they say, why do you help people so much? Because I don't remember a bad day
That's
that
right.
I had. I don't remember a bad day that I had. My mother always made sure that we were straight. We
Yep.
didn't go through hard times.
Yes.
So I'm able to give back because I haven't witnessed having a hard time. And I struggle every day.
Right.
But I struggle to the point to where God brings me out of whatever I need.
Yeah.
If I'm low on money, he gonna make it to where I can make a little money that day. I may have to work for it, but he's going to put the tools that I need in my face. He's going to say, you can do this, or you can do this, and he's going to give me that. And I'm so forever blessed. And that's why I bless my community, because I put God first always and forever. Because he
Miss
has
Sierra,
nothing.
dang. Request me on Facebook and I'll request you. I'm going to put everything in the thing in the chat here.
Right.
So y'all can follow me. But I enjoyed y'all ladies.
Yes.
Anytime else I want to come back on, I will definitely let you know.
Absolutely.
And y'all reach out, because if y'all know some single men and some married men that want to get on the show,
I'm gonna be wearing you here.
We're gonna do a part 2 of this. Because we're gonna do a part 2 of this, because I know people got a lot to say. So I want the men to come on and speak their piece too. So I need some single men and some married men that want to come on the show so we can talk about it. Because I'm ready. All right, you guys have a good night. Love you all. And thank you for tuning in.
And that's why we're talking about my husband. He better not watch this show.
Okay.
I'm leaving.